Hey guys, welcome back to DR Sports for another Saturday football show with myself, my co-host Fuad. We've also got Nicky Hawkins and Neeks today.
Great.
Round of applause for everyone.
Well done, boys.
Good to have you back. It's been a while, boys, to have you on the Saturday football show. Great to have you here. Great to have you here as well. Make sure you're smashing that like button early doors as we react to that massive point for Everton and Sheffield United. Massive draw, that 2-2. Pickford keeping Everton in it right at the end. And then, of course, the 3 o'clock kickoff today, we've got Brentford versus Bournemouth, Burnley at home to Tottenham, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, and of course City at home to Fulham. Brighton do play Newcastle at 5:30, so we will preview that as well. But as things stand, press that like button. Make sure you comment with your thoughts on all of the games and the goals as they go in live, and then subscribe to the channel. This close to 320,000 subs, so let's get that today if we can. Help us out. How are we, boys?
Good. Can't complain.
I'm really well.
Right, top of the table.
I'm really well.
Hawkins.
Yeah, I'm really well.
Yeah. How are you? Been better, to be honest. There's a certain window that needs to close for me to feel, A-OK. Neeks?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My first stream of the season.
Love it.
Hair out, yeah.
Yeah, man. I finished my carnival tour of the Caribbean and Nottingham Hill, so I'm ready now. Ready for the start of the season.
Love to see it. Right, let's talk about the draw and then we'll get into the team lineups for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Mad game, really. Cameron Archer with the first goal as a Pickford own goal, but then Doucouré and Dan Juma equalised for Everton to nick a point at Bramall Lane. Tough place to go to, as we know. Still, both teams without a win this season. Is that probably a fair result in the end, Nicky?
I think it's fair. Both teams lacked quality. It was like a Sunday league game at times, honestly. And they're both in big trouble, both them teams. Even this early in the season, I think they're both in big trouble. The window's closed now, so there's nothing. You know what they've got for at least. Well, how long is it? Not 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
And they haven't got enough. Them two teams have not got enough. And I say that as numero uno.
I think Sheffield will be happy with Cameron Archer, though. I think that will be one positive they definitely take away from this. Because I always say with those kind of bottom third teams, you always want that kind of 10 to 12 goal a season striker. Now listen, I'm not saying he is that, but you just want to be able to get someone who can get you goals. I remember 2 years ago when Sheffield was in the Premier League, they signed Brewster. He didn't quite deliver that kind of same. You hope this kind of debut, it can kind of give him some confidence wearing the number 10 as well. So he's going to play a big part this season, but that's one positive they can kind of at least take. We've got a forward who can get us at least 1 or 2 goals.
Yeah, Neeks, both teams now going to the international break winless. Do you think there's maybe alarm bells ringing at both clubs, or is it too early to tell?
I wonder how many Sheffield United fans, when they came up, when the transfer window was going on, how many of them were confident that they were going to stay up? Because I look at the team, look at the signings, and I'm like, you don't look like a Premier League ready club. Some clubs come up and you're like, I think you're going to do well, or I think you're going to go down. Luton, we're thinking they're probably going to go down. Burnley, you got a good chance of staying up. I think Sheffield are in between that, but closer to Luton than Burnley in that respect. With Everton, it's just a mess. It's an absolute mess because Everton, we know the history of Everton. I think they're one of the only 2 teams not to be relegated from the top division. They've been in the...
Somehow.
Yeah, they've been in the Premier League
for
how long? And year after year, they seem to be getting worse and worse and worse, and haven't been able to arrest.
It's just a badly run club.
It's a very bad.
It's a badly run club.
As far as the owners go and the board, etc., they deserve to be relegated because they've run the club.
I'll spot you on that. 100%.
I'll
take it.
Because I don't want them to go down. I know you do. But as far as the fans go, you're like, do they deserve? No one deserves a club to be run
100%
in the way Everton have, and it's been absolutely so. As a club, as ownership, they deserve to go. And I just don't know how they're going to survive. They got rid of Iwobi on the last day on the transfer window deadline. And last season, he was one of their better players, one of the reasons why they were able to just about survive. I don't know where their goals are coming from. I don't know where their points are going to come from. You go to Sheffield United, which is a relegation 6-point at the start of the season, and it takes a Pickford wonder save to
keep them in it. Yeah, and they've lost to Wolves already. It's not like they're playing teams around them. You want them teams when you've sort of, when you've got the boys up for it and they know what they've got to do to play them teams. When you're playing them early and losing and drawing games, it's not good. It's not good. They haven't had a bad season last season. They've had a bad 36 months.
Yeah.
Badly run club. A little bit. I don't know what to even say about them.
I'm trying to remember when.
I'm trying to find a word for them.
You know when we were signing like 5 number 10s in one window. You're looking at it like, and you're like,
Dele Alli,
There's a lot of money wasted.
What's going on? And it's been a downward slope probably since. It's hard to say, but Martinez. When Martinez got sacked, I'm not saying it was a wrong decision, but when he got sacked,
he was part of.
They've never recovered after that kind of period.
Koeman, Ancelotti, some
look,
top Marco
Ancelotti
Silva.
kind of came in and they got 7th. But even under that, you're thinking with the players that he signed, the names and the quality
And the
manager,
money
they
they've spent.
underachieved.
I think it was 40 million for Iwobi.
Yeah.
50 million for who was it that was costing 50 million? Sigurdsson.
Richarlison.
Yeah. Richarlison. He cost him about 50 million, didn't he?
Yeah, from Watford.
And these players are no longer at the club.
And they've made
Now they
losses.
cannot buy anybody else.
Made a plus on Richarlison, to be fair.
They got a stadium coming next year in the Championship. Jeez.
Hopefully, yes.
The thing is, though, now they got that similarly, like with Sheffield got a striker in Beto, was it? He scored in his debut in the cup midweek. Danjuma gets a goal today. Do you look at them two with Sean Dyche's kind of defensive mindset, if you like, and being able to get teams out of ruts? Obviously, now he's had a full pre-season. He's going to have a full season with them. Do you think maybe he can stop the slide, if you like?
I thought that
'Cause
last season.
if you've got 1 or 2 goal scorers and then his kind of defensive structure, can that not get you over the line?
They survived last year, but I don't think it was really because of Sean Dyche per se. I expected a bit more from him to see the imprint on the team, say, oh, that's why you survived. I think they survived because there was literally just 3 worst teams. And they were fortunate to survive.
But that's what I mean by this year. Now
I don't see
pre-season.
I don't see any imprint of Sean Dyche in this side defensively. I do not see it. I can't see it. You know, that was a Pickford wonder save at the end. Let's be honest, a double wonder save to keep them with a point. That's the first point they've got this year. I can't see Sean Dyche's impression on them. And
I think their hope is again that there's just going to be 3
worst teams.
Luton, Sheffield United.
But how many years can that?
They're the
keep
new
you up
Wigan.
for?
They're the new Wigan. That's what Wigan were. Just, you know what I mean? Worst teams. And eventually,
until you're the worst team.
Until you're the
Got
worst
to be your
team.
turn
Middlesbrough went
sometime.
through that. Fulham went through that as well, where there's just those 3 or 4 years where you just hover above the trapdoor before you're finally the kind of victim. But
And I hate it because, you know, Everton fans are good, honest fans. They deserve a lot better. I know you won't agree, but
No, I agree with that.
they're good, honest fans. Deserve a lot better. It's a poorly run club, you know, and we've all had times when we thought our club's poorly run, but that is a shambles.
In the comments here, what a save by Pickford, says BH. What a save, Pickford, says Harry Kane. Ramsdale still better, says Happy Human. Everton own goal, says was lost but now I'm found. And that's why he's England's #1 goalkeeper, another comment says. So I guess he keeps his place for the England games that are coming up after those couple of saves, apart from that shocking own goal, which it wasn't really his fault. But that save at the end, you'd expect him maybe to save the first one, but the second one, I don't know if he knew anything about it. Jumps off his head. Everyone jumps on him as if he scored a goal. He gives some back to the crowds.
See, this is why. This is why opposition fans hate it, because he does things like that. But
he's celebrating
that's his character, isn't it? It's his character.
That's why we hate him.
On the England thing, I've been saying for years, I don't think he's a great keeper, but he's clearly England's best keeper. I don't even mean attribute for attribute, but performing for England. Is Ramsdale going to do, or would Ramsdale have done what he's done for England at major tournaments so far? I can't base it on what
I don't rate
Ramsdale's
Ramsdale. I don't rate him.
I think he's good, but I don't rate him any higher than Pickford.
He's
really.
all right.
Like, he's better than Pickford, but not enough to say, oh, you've saved penalties in penalty shootouts. You've had good, you know.
He has erratic moments, Neeks. He has erratic moments.
So does Pickford.
So
It's kind of 6 to 1, half a dozen other, especially when it comes to England. I think he's more than deserved to keep his place. Maybe if Everton get relegated, then it's like, well, you need to move. Maybe he ain't got Southgate.
But when you look at the form of Ramsdale, who's competing for titles, when you look at Nick Pope, who's going to be playing in the Champions League as well, had one of the best defences last year. Do you not look at those two and think, how long can we keep them out?
Firstly, how long is Ramsdale going to be number 1?
Because as much as you can say Pickford's character's great and he's got these kind of moments of madness or whatever, I think he has played for England pretty well, which is why he hasn't been dropped. But you look at those two kind of behind him and you're just like, at some point they've got to be given a chance.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Let us know in the comments who you think. Obi-Wan Kenobi says Scott Carson for England #1.
Hey.
It's not 2004 or 5.
Are you sure? Johnny Evans is back at Man United.
Well, yeah.
Didn't Fraser Forster get a random call-up last year as well? Do you remember? Don't rule it out, man. Trust me.
Dropped out. Pope saved 5 pens last season, says Dark by Design.
Didn't Pope's the reason Newcastle didn't win a trophy. He got sent off again. Was it Liverpool before the
and Carabao?
Yeah.
And Karius was in goal.
Yeah.
Right, let's jump into the lineups then for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Some really good games today, as I said. Tottenham, Chelsea, and Man City all in action. Let's start at the G-Tech Stadium. Brentford, Flecken in goal. Aaron Hickey at right back. Pinnock, Me, and Henry in the back 5. Jensen, Norgard, and Janelt, with Mbeumo, Wissa, and Sade up top, which that front 3 has actually given them a few goals already this season. So they'll be looking to kick on from that. They've got Neil Maupay on the bench there today as well. Former player, of course. Let's go to Turf Moor. Massive game this for Burnley. No wins so far. We'll speak about them a little bit more in the show as the game goes on. But they have to win this one. But again, tough day out at home to Tottenham. Trafford in goal. Roberts, Al-Dakil, O'Shea and Bayer at the back, with Goodmanson, Cullen, Sander Berge and Kalisho, with Amdouani and Foster up front for Burnley. But for Tottenham, would you like to read out that team?
Yeah, pretty much an unchanged side, bar one. Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van der Ven and Destiny, which are starting to become a unit now. Pape Sarr and Basuma as a double pivot again. James Maddison in front of them. Kulusevski on the right, and Solomon comes in today on the left, with Son Heung-min finally being played in the number 9 position. Thank you, Ange. Now I know you watch my content, so I appreciate it.
Skip, Højbjerg, Sanchez, Richarlison, Emerson, Perisic, Forster, Davies and Phillips on the bench there for Tottenham. So they can bring on players if they need to. I guess that's the advantage of dropping someone like a Richarlison, is that you can bring him off the bench. Chelsea at home to Nottingham Forest. Sanchez, Disasi, Thiago Silva and Colwell at the back as a 3, with Gusto and Chilwell, the wing-backs there, with Gallagher getting another start. Not leaving Chelsea, obviously, staying there this season with Caicedo in the middle. Sterling and Enzo Fernandez play a more advanced role behind Nico Jackson. But listen to this bench. Cucurella, Mudryk, Madueke, Palmer, Cole Palmer getting a bench after his recent move. Maddison on the bench as well there for Chelsea, which, again, it's such a big squad that so many massive players are going to miss out. They might not even make the bench some weeks. So let's see how Forest
players turned them down in the end.
Yeah,
there's no space. Turned them down.
There's no space. Turner, Bolly, Worrell and McKenna at the back for Forest. Aurier and Aina are the wing backs, with Mangala, Danilo, Yates, Morgan Gibbs-White and Awani still up front, looking for now 8 games in a row. Can he continue that record? I think he did score at Stamford Bridge last season for them as well.
I think scored at Stamford Bridge last season.
And then again, look at Forest's bench. Nuno Tavares, Kouyaté, Chris Wood, Felipe, Niakate, Ilanga, Montiel. These are names that can all come on and do some damage. Don't forget, the King has returned to English Premier League. Divock Origi back in the Prem, playing for the Reds. This time,
I'm just glad he went to Forest, man, because there was rumours he was coming to our place.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I don't want him.
Divock Origi. You need someone back up.
Absolute disgrace.
We'll be all right.
King Divock. Let's go to the Etihad. Man City versus Fulham. Edison in goal. Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, Akanji and Ake make the back 5. Rodri and Kovacic in the double piv. And then a kind of front 4 of Foden, Alvarez, Doku making his debut today. And of course, Erling Haaland up front. And this bench is a joke as well. Phillips, Ortega, Bernardo Silva, Gomez, Vardiol, 100 mil defenders chilling on the bench. Mateus Nunes also on the bench. Could he make his debut today? Number 27. Scott Carson and Rico Lewis make up that bench. But for Fulham,
Carson.
Scott Carson
still getting on that bench,
man.
Treble winner Carson.
No. Up until May of this year, he was the only Champions League winner in their squad. Not anymore. They all are. Brilliant. Leno in goal for Fulham. Tete, who had a bit of a howler last week, didn't he?
Oh, he got
giving away a penalty. He did, though. That's fair. Diop, Ream and Robinson, with Tom Kearney, the captain, Reed, Pereira, Andreas Pereira, that is in the midfield, with Harry Wilson, Raul Jimenez, and De Cordova Reed. Bobby up front there for Fulham.
Sorry, did you say Paulinho? Or he's not?
No, Pereira, I said.
No, Paulinho's not in the squad.
Not even in the bench.
Collapsed yesterday.
Hey, listen.
He was abroad, didn't he? He was in Germany.
He was in Germany, yeah.
You need about 48 hours to mentally recover from that, in my opinion. I think when you've
His head
got
must
to
be all
move
over.
the size of that, you've gone there, you've done the medical, you've got the T-shirt, literally,
In your hands.
in your hands, and then the move falls through because of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. But, hey,
They
listen.
should have got McTominay in it, actually.
The game is cruel, man. The game is... What?
They should have got
Relax. Højbjerg is a much better option.
Yeah, but clearly
there.
he thinks he's better than Fulham. That's
Yeah.
why. So McTominay don't.
And a decent bench as well for Fulham. Bassi, Adama Traore, Willian, Castagne, Carlos Vinicius. So again, all of these teams that we're reading out have all got depth in strength in depth now from the bench to bring on some players if they need to. And that is your 3 o'clock kickoff lineups. We are 14 minutes away from kicking off in the Premier League. Let's jump back into the comments. Paqueta was superb last night with a comment there. Talk us about the result last night for West Ham. You go top of the table, but again, some standout performances from the likes of Paqueta and the new boy, James Ward-Prowse.
And Alvarez.
And Alvarez.
is honestly, we sold that English rice and we've got a lovely Mexican rice to complement it.
I like what you did
We're cooking, man. We're cooking. You keep on saying Arsenal. I see their transfer window yesterday. You said you was cooking. You lost a few ingredients, so let's see what you can knock up with it. But yeah, no, it's a tough place to go. It's going to be a tough place to go for a lot of teams, man. And they're lacking a bit of quality, but the atmosphere and stuff is. So, look, wasn't the greatest performance, and I don't think we've had a real standout performance all year, but we're winning games, And look, listen, when we get to that 40-point mark, then I'll start to chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's all I'm looking for. Like, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not sitting here talking about league titles or getting top 4 and that. Just stay up, and then we'll talk from there. You know what I mean? But no, it's tough. We've had a good start. I think we've rode our luck a little bit with the amount of chances we're conceding. We need to tighten that up. But I'm very happy with the business.
I was going to say, yeah, because a couple of weeks ago we was doing the preview to the first game, I remember, and you was kind of almost dejected, thinking we're going to be fighting relegation again. But since then, a lot of signings have come in.
Yeah,
and even, I don't think your performances have been as bad. The Bournemouth one, I think you should have potentially won in the first game as well.
They're not terrible, and they're working, but there was a standoff between Moyes and Stuyden. Stuyden is a guy that's come in to sort of be the director of football, and he's making a difference at the moment. And there was a bit of a standoff about targets and who we should be going to get, and Moyes wanted, his 3 targets were Ward-Prowse, McTominay and Maguire, and Stuyden was like Kudus, Alvarez and someone else, and they sort of come to
immediate.
They come to an understanding, and they've sort of mixed it up. And I think the balance of what they've got, Ward-Prowse's passing ability is second to none. He is a baller. Yeah. Honestly, he's a baller, and he's one of them players that can turn coal into diamond. So he'll do the dirty work. Like you see that last week at Brighton. He done the dirty work, won the ball back, give a great distribution to someone else, and then
he's not in the England squad, is he?
No,
I think
that's good. I'm okay
You're
with that.
happy with that.
I'm okay with that. Him and Bowen, because he's on fire as well, Jared Bowen. But I'm okay with that.
I think there's a song about that, isn't there?
Yeah. there's a song about Tim Stuyden. I'll tell you it later.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask you though? Because obviously at the back end of last season, when you were fighting relegation, but you were going in the cups, there was a lot of West Ham fans. I'm not sure about you yourself, who wanted Moyes out throughout the season.
I did want him out.
Okay, I wasn't sure. And obviously the cup run is probably what kept him in a job.
Yes.
And then obviously winning it meant, well, you're not going to sack him during the summer. Going into the season, I'm sure there's a lot of West Ham fans, maybe yourself as well, who who were still thinking we still need to get rid of Moyes. Moyes still ain't good enough. The cup saved him, etc. What's the feeling right now, 4 games in, after the transfer window, with the majority of West Ham fans with David Moyes? Has it changed from maybe before the transfer window opened?
What I was when it comes to, I was very respectful of Moyes, and I was very respectful of what he'd done. I was very thankful, and I just thought his time, it come to an end. you know, it's one of them things where you think it's one thing, but it could be other factors in place. You know, players, disruptions from backroom staff, arguments, and things like that. And you know, there was rumours of him losing the dressing room. So you're trying to put all of these things together, but you see it from a couple of years ago. If we've got a happy squad and you know they're all going in the same direction, we've got a good squad. It's when they start to, you know, argue about the direction we're going in and, you know, how we should go about it. And Mikel Antonio sort of confirmed that last year in that Filthy Fellas podcast.
Yeah.
You know, they had different ideas.
Wow,
All it is getting on the same page. Listen, I'm not saying Moyes' ball is, you know, ideal football, but I'm all for it if it's working. If it's not working and you're persisting with it, I don't see the point of it.
Yeah, it's stubbornness.
You know? It's stubbornness, and I
don't think it's even stubbornness. I think he's a limited manager in what he can coach.
Yes, he is a limited.
I don't think he can.
Yeah.
In that interview that Mikel Antonio, you spoke about him, Scamacca being there, but Moyes is unable to play to his strengths because the way that he's been coaching football for as long as just doesn't cater.
And I think there's players like that
ends back up front
that doesn't fit. They're in there, they're moping around, they're being unhappy, and I think it turns a couple of people's heads because. I remember someone saying to me, a first-team squad member saying to me, he's quality. Boys just don't know what to do with him. He does not know what to do with him.
It's a shame when you get a good player, but the manager can't quite unlock it. And then you still know that it's a good player there.
And I've always said, if Moyes, look, I wanted to go in a different direction. I wanted him to win that cup, which I was over the moon for. I thought that was a perfect ending for him, just to ride away into the distance, and then we go now in a different direction. But I've always said, if they're adamant at sticking with him, give him what he needs and what he needs to succeed. And, you know, whatever happens.
Yeah.
You know, but if you give him what he needs with that, you know, his limited knowledge, his limited tactics, then he'll get something out of you. You know what I mean? You might not be fantastic, you might not be pretty to watch, but he'll get results. But then bringing the likes of Scamacca in and players like that, Paqueta at the start, didn't even know where he was playing. Didn't even know where his best position was. Like, he's worked that out now. You know what I mean? And we've got a good mixture between
the guile and the graft.
The guile and the graft. That is perfect.
Brilliant.
All right, that's my job done, guys. I'll see you next week.
Let's jump into the comments. Couple of super chats to read out. Tina says, which of the two clubs, Spurs and Tottenham, have used their 100 millions best after selling their captains?
Spurs and Tottenham.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, Tina. About that.
West Ham.
Yeah. Who's used the 100 best?
A very equal transfer window. I think we've both done. I think we're about level.
Okay.
What we've done with the money.
I'd possibly tip it better towards yours in terms of ready-made quality that's good to go now. I think Vicario, Van der Ven, they've started promising. We still need to see, in my opinion. I think the only kind of ready-made one we've signed is Maddison. Yeah. We've got Phillips and Veliz, who we signed that we're probably not even going to see this year. Solomon, who's just getting his first start today. So I said yesterday, 6 out of 10 for my one. Whereas your one, I would actually consider as one of the best windows. And in terms of
5 maybe,
yeah, possibly 8 even.
Well,
in terms of
Alvarez is a replacement
straight up
for Declan Rice,
and it allows Souček to go back to his original role. That's the beauty with Alvarez.
The judgment on Spurs' investment for me rests on Son and Richarlison. They need to be scoring to say we didn't need to go out and get a striker to replace Kane.
Correct.
If they don't score, then you're like
Brennan Johnson as well. Let's not forget 45 million deadline day.
I expect him to be back up to Kulusevski.
It's an expensive backup, though.
It is, but
that's what you need.
Yeah.
But if they can get Son in any sort of form that he was before, then they're okay.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, back in the 9 role today, please. Heung-min 9. I've been asking for this. Deliver me something.
We'll
today,
see.
Please.
We will see. Will Fuad be in the mud come 5 o'clock?
That's what he wants.
I think that's what everyone wants, really, isn't it? On the Saturday Football Show. JC Florida Super Chat says, big love from Florida. # West Ham top of the league, says JC. Oh, yeah. Big up to you from watching across the pond. Big game for Barnet today in the comments. They've got an away day at Boreham Wood. Bit of a North London local derby, that, says David NL. Another super chat coming in from Todd Miller. Gallagher brace incoming today up the Chelsea, says Todd. Again from America again.
It must be Todd Bowley.
Nah, I think it's just the first name that they've got in similar. Where was Neeks? Glad he is back, says Najim.
I was on a Caribbean tour. Went Barbados, crop over, Carnival. Then I went to Grenada.
Yeah, don't feel sorry for him, man. He's been all right.
Then I went to St. Lucia, and then I came back and I was like, I need to do Notting Hill, and then I can start the Premier League season. Thankfully, United won a couple of games in between, so that didn't.
Mood
Not
is
that
up.
it would have ruined my holiday.
I think
but-
United might have had the same idea, you know. Get the carnival out of the way, then start the Premier League
think so.
season.
But I'm back.
Good to have you back, man. 6 minutes away from the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We're still going through the comments until the game starts. We've got a comment here from Oyoy Savaloy that says, big up the Saturday gang. Frequent watcher. We appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button. 2,500 of you with us right now. We expect that to go up to maybe 4 or 5.
20,000.
Well, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? Let's just relax a little bit. But yeah, make sure you are helping us via commenting, subscribing if you haven't already. Like I said, very close to 320,000 now. Chelsea can't chat to us, says In the Skies. Let us know who you support. Brennan Johnson is an awful signing. You've spent over 100 million on 2 bang average forwards. Well done, says JB.
Opinions are opinions.
There they are. In the Skies saying Sterling hat-trick today again.
He's
back
in
in form.
scintillating form, by the way.
Who's Sterling?
Yes.
Incredible.
We're also hearing some massive news that could potentially affect Arsenal as well. The line is that apparently Thomas Partey could be out for up to 3 months.
Whoa!
Is what
Thomas
we're
Partey?
hearing potentially.
Ay.
Which is a massive, massive loss for Arsenal, especially when you consider you haven't even been seeing the best out of him. He's been playing right back in some games this season as well. But Arsenal fans, how do you react to that? How does that change the
Probably
the
better for
feeling
them,
going
man.
into the game tomorrow as well?
Because now it's
He's playing
Rice,
right back.
Odegaard has to drop deeper, and Havertz stays
right
in that
back.
midfield. Yeah, but Ben White would have come back in, I think,
this is the
after
thing.
Gabriel last game. I
guess
think
it-
the window's closed now, the drama's over, get them back in the
They're
side.
unlucky if they got a B, man.
Hey,
Arsenal.
I ain't
The
complaining.
day after the window, they
Yeah, I ain't complaining.
But
Last
the day
year,
after-
last
the
year
day
with the
after-
Ten
It is
Hag
unlucky
say.
though. It is unlucky
No, but okay.
to get a timber injury and now.
No, but they could have. I get that, but they could have
Gone on
Replace
side.
Timber.
replaced someone on Timber.
They let Tierney
decided,
go as well.
7
okay,
months he's out for Timber.
he's
7
out for the
months.
season. He's out for the season because even when he comes back, he ain't really back. They didn't go to get someone to replace. It's unlucky they got injured, but you had enough time. So I know they got some FFP issues. Apparently, that's why they loaned Raya. But yeah, I don't know about unlucky. No sympathy from me as the DR
That's
Sports
right.
watchers. No sympathy from me.
Tell him.
Well, I'll give them some sympathy. I think that's a massive loss. Massive loss. But again, we're waiting to hear.
Well, we're missing
the source of
Malacia,
that.
so that evens,
It might,
that evens
but it's
out.
going to revert. It's going to force his hand to get Ben White straight out to right back. I think they've got a good enough midfield, man.
Yeah.
Even without him.
They'll still be.
Boy, the
go.
Havertz experiment
Havertz needs to
continues.
step up now, though.
Yeah.
He needs to step up.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Not Sunday, though.
I
After
really
the
want.
international
Kai Havertz, right? He's a polarising figure.
Yeah.
I really want him to shove it down their throats, man. I really want him to
Whoa.
do well. I really do. I really do. I really do because they've already written him off. Because that's what they do, Arsenal fans. They write him off.
Yeah.
But the thing
straight
is-
away.
But
Okay,
is it writing him off, or is it just looking at the player you've seen at Chelsea and
I understand
not
that.
really
I understand
fancying
that.
it?
But different players play different for different managers. Give him a chance.
But
man.
wouldn't it be a bit flip floppish if they've been getting onto him for the last 2-3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible, and then he signs for Arsenal.
And all of a
And
sudden,
you're like, oh, greatest player in
could
the
play in this
world.
position.
yeah.
Trossard could play there.
What, in centre mid?
Yeah.
No, I ain't seen Trossard play
He
centre
could
mid.
play it.
I've seen him play
he
across
did
the
it in
front
pre-season.
three
He
and
could
maybe
play.
as a
He
10.
could play on the point.
MLS
In the
All-Stars,
10.
he
Possibly,
played.
yeah. But then
You can have
Odegaard has
Rice
to
and
drop as a
Odegaard,
deeper as an
Rice
8.
and- No, actually, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
They haven't got anyone. have they?
Odegaard has to drop deeper
Yeah,
as
he
an
has to
8.
drop
That's the
deeper,
only
yeah.
solution, really and truly.
I'd say I don't rate Havertz. I didn't know much about him before he joined Chelsea. I just knew he was talented. He'd done a bit over in Germany at Leverkusen. But from what I saw at Chelsea, I was like, this guy is pants.
There's one guy that I feel like
And
deserves
so
a
I can't
pounce.
just change it. No, but so I can't just change it because Arsenal's been flying, and I need to see him change. He needs to do something more.
Yeah, he needs to do
So he has to
something,
prove
yeah.
to the
But that's
fans.
what I want him to do. I want him to prove a few. But he's got the qualities in him. I can see it.
He's got some technical qualities.
Yes.
But I think he's got a lot of deficiency, especially if you're going to play him in midfield,
Yeah.
where, especially in the Premier League, where you need that kind of robustness. Even Ozil struggled in the Premier League, and he was brilliant, but he wasn't his best because of there's certain things that are different from league to league, and I don't know. I don't see it.
You don't see it.
I
Well, that
don't
one
see
will rumble on as soon as either Havertz shuts them all up or he gets even worse. So I'm sure we'll find out what happens. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you've joined us on the Saturday Football Show. The 3 o'clock kickoffs have now kicked off. We are underway between Brentford, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Forest, Man City, Fulham, and of course Burnley versus Tottenham.
Did we do any predictions?
Let's get into them now. Good shout, actually. Brentford, Bournemouth. How do we see it?
Brentford win 2-0.
2-0. Who?
1-1 draw. I think I predicted 1-1 draw on the preview as well.
3-1 Brentford.
Okay.
Brentford.
Interesting. Burnley, Tottenham.
2-1 Tottenham win.
I'm going to go same. 2-1 Tottenham win.
I'll go 2-2 randomly.
Mm-hmm. Desmond.
I was thinking 2-2, but I'll go 1-1.
Man City versus Fulham. Bit of a whitewash on the cards.
Yeah, I've said 4-0.
3-0.
2-0 City.
4-1 City. I'm going to go for.
City need a wake-up game. The beast mode within them. And I think Fulham, having lost Mitrovic, Palhinha, 2 big characters, goal-getter and your protector.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, Forest.
You know what? Chelsea home business today. I know home has been shaky for them, but I'm expecting 2-1 Chelsea. I think they'll make it tough for themselves, but they'll sneak something.
I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea.
I'll go 2-1 Chelsea as well. I think
I'll go
Forest
2-1
got a goal
Chelsea.
in them. I would love to see Awoniyi get 8 in a row.
He will get
What's
one.
the record?
He will get
11. 11. Okay.
Or is it 12? Vardy?
I felt like it was 13 for some reason.
I think
but
it's
No,
11 or
when Vardy?
12.
Vardy beat
Vardy
Van Nistelrooy's
beat
record.
Van Nistelrooy. Van
Was
Nistelrooy
Van
was
Nistelrooy?
9.
Oh, it was 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he beat
I
that
think
one.
it's 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
he
it's
got one
11.
after that
I think
as well.
it is 11.
Yeah.
I remember one of them was against United to get the record.
Yeah, it was. 1-1 draw at the King Power.
Right, as we said, all the games are now underway. We've had some games already finishing in the Championship today. Birmingham, Millwall. That was last night, wasn't it? That is a tough game for away fans. Could be a few scraps at that one.
Yeah, definitely. I remember a famous playoff game of them, man, when they Millwall lost and they started turning cars over.
There you go. Early pressure from Chelsea, as you'd expect, at home against Nottingham Forest.
You know what's interesting with Chelsea?
Oh, great chance. Great tackle.
They've spent $1 billion since Todd Bowley's been there. They haven't got one person that you say, he's guaranteed 20 goals this season.
You sound like Robbie last night, mate.
Oh, is it? No, but it's the truth.
Or you literally sound like Robbie from last
Robbie
night.
was
I'm
pushing
like,
this
bro.
narrative a lot last
No, but it's
night.
true.
It is
$1
true.
billion.
You look at that, you're like,
Where is the squad?
no, but yeah.
Does it look like £1 million squad?
spent $1 billion on that. I'm looking at it. Calls.
Great
No,
minds.
listen.
No,
I've
but
said-
where's the goals? I'm not saying they won't score as a team, but
Yeah.
where's the goal scorer?
I think you can look at it and say, look, there should be maybe more of a stardust on it. But who in the global market now would you say they can go out there and just say, boom, he's the one?
Mohamed Salah.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
This is what I'm saying. I always feel like Chelsea.
Osimhen? So what's that? Wait, hold on.
That is the type of
You're
one
right.
I can hit.
If you spent $1 billion,
Yeah.
I need to see Osimhen.
Caicedo, Enzo.
No, this is exactly this is what we're talking. Osimhen, Haaland, Kane,
Someone
like
of that
that
ilk.
star quality.
Yeah.
Not Enzo and Caicedo for 220 million. I'm not saying they're not great or very good players, potentially world class, because they're not world class yet, potentially world class. But they ain't winning you games.
Okay, it sounds crazy now, but the idea behind buying Mudryk, was that not supposed to be it? Yes or no? At the time when the Arsenal shenanigans was going on and Mudryk got signed, it was like, this is going to be their X factor,
You're
big
right,
star player.
but this shows the
They've still
fallacies in their recruitment.
Is Sterling still not world class?
Goal early doors, and it's come at Turf Moor. And who has it gone to? Fuad.
I ain't got my glasses.
Don't worry, I got
It's
mine.
Burnley.
I got mine. It's
Well, it's not
Burnley.
Tottenham. I'll give you that. It's not Tottenham. Awful start away at Turf Moor. Just the start, actually, that Burnley needed. Fuad has been. Well, he's just laughing now. It's early
It's okay.
doors.
It's okay. Listen, we can have a bad start. It's all good. We've been having good ones. So it was only time where things started to go a little bit.
And it's Lyle Foster with the goal
4
after
minutes in.
4 minutes for Burnley. What a start for them at home to Tottenham. 3 o'clock. The long afternoon, the long show now begins.
Do you know
for
what
my
it
friend
is?
here, Fuad.
This reminds me a lot of last season. Last season, there were so many games where first half were just so awful. We concede early. Don't forget, Newcastle was 20 minutes. 5. Like, there were so many games within the first 10 or 15 minutes. Bournemouth 3-1 at home. Brentford came and bopped us in our ground. It was all early goals, and I'm just like, the first 3 games, it was nice. The cup game gave us that little reality check to be like, hey, listen, there's still work to be done here. And listen, I'm curious to see how that kind of went in exactly, but I hope this is now a wake-up call for the team, because the regulars are back in. I expect some form of reaction.
Jack saying company cooking. Duncan saying Robbie Lyle scored. No, it was Lyle Foster, not Robbie Lyle. Told you my South African striker will get a hat-trick, says Young Crew. And also Fuad with a lot of laughing emojis as well. We can see a lot of those in the chat right now. Classic.
They love it.
One happy guy. Look at him.
Let's see if we can get
but yeah, can I just say back on the Chelsea thing quickly? You said Mudryk, but I think that exposes the fallacy in their policy, because I'm saying if you spent $1 billion, if any club spent $1 billion, you're like, also who was your marquee signing? If Mudryk was the answer, then that's a big problem, because he had done nothing at that point to say he should be the marquee signing. But then you probably say, well, Enzo and Caicedo are. But for me.
But the way I'm looking at Chelsea window personally is, oh my God.
Ooh, Mickey.
The way I'm looking at Chelsea's window is, if you look at it, they're signing almost not ready-made stars.
Yes, I get
it's
that.
Almost
yeah,
under 23, potentially could be high, either value or high potential.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah,
Whether you're going to break through on loan or break through us, it's going to be one of those decisions. So for me, I think it's one of those, inevitably, those talents, some of them are going to become good.
Yeah.
So the team...
Some might come bad.
Some might come awful. And they're going to have to feel that burn.
Remember in the summer when they signed Havertz and Werner, they signed a lot of other players, like Mendy and others. Ziyech, I think, came that window. And I remember saying to Chelsea fans, if you think all of these guys are going to bang, you got something that's coming. It's impossible for the 100%. At least half of them are going to flop. And you have to accept that.
Is that not what
arguably
big clubs,
all of them other than Mendy flopped for 2 years?
I hear that, but is that not what big clubs do all the time?
Not the way Chelsea.
Maybe not in that Man United over the last 10 years.
Not in that 10 years. This is 1 year they spent $1 billion.
I get it. I don't know why I sounded like I'm the defense team here, but for me, I can see the logic to it, if that makes sense. It's almost like stick so much potential at the wall, some of them are going to stick.
I get the reasoning behind it.
Worst case scenario,
I don't think it's
we've
logical.
seen Chelsea can sell well, and they're no doubt going to flip them. They're not going to make losses on
There's
any
been
of these
another
kids.
goal early on in the Premier League. Great start for the second week in a row on the Saturday Football Show when it comes to the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Brentford, we all predicted them to win or draw. I've gone 1-0 up early doors at home to Bournemouth. Massive goal that for the Bees as they continue their fine goal scoring form. We might have to come back to that one. There might be a slight VAR issue, but as things stand, it is 1-0 to Brentford at home to Bournemouth.
But go back to Chelsea. Why rush? Why have they rushed out and spent all of that money, got all of them guys on long-term contracts?
Yeah.
You know, there can't have been... This is... You're talking about Todd Bowley a year. There's a goal... Oh, that is Brent. I thought it was... I'm still
I love that.
Matthias Jensen after 7 minutes, by the way, with the goal for the home team in that one.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying?
But why what was the rush? Why did they rush out and pay all of that money over that short period of time? I looked at their transfer thing, 30 players. 30 players.
I think it's almost the new ownership wanting to stamp their authority. I think the takeover from Abramovich required the new owner to spend some money or a significant as a part of the purchase. Billion.
But it doesn't have to be all spent in the first year.
I know, but that has to be spent. But then also, I look at Chelsea haven't competed for a title since 2017. A lot of people say that Champions League title that they won in 2021 papered over cracks. And as you say, a lot of the players that were in that squad were flops or aren't there anymore.
I'd love the Champions League to paper over cracks.
So since maybe 2017 till now, that Chelsea squad has been such a mishmash of bad signings, bad management, managerial changes from Sarri to Lampard to Tuchel to Conte. You had an overlap of almost 4 managerial squads. So this overhaul was almost needed. I feel like they're probably the only club in the luxury situation where they can do it.
They can do it.
So let's do it.
Because I'm sure
you're right.
No, but I hear what you're saying, because you look at
they could do it in 2 or 3 windows.
If you look at Man United, we've still got players. We're talking managers back,
you
and it
wish
takes
you could
X
do it.
amount of time. But
So you're jealous?
No, I'm not jealous because I don't know if it's necessary. Yes, you need an overhaul.
Yeah.
But doing what they've done, and I guess it works with many different projects or process, whatever, but doing what they've done doesn't guarantee success in the way that Chelsea fans are so excited. I'm like, guys, like, it might work, but you're talking like now you are guaranteed to challenge for all fronts. And I don't look at that squad and I don't see it.
Yesterday, and Laurie said it as well. I think the biggest signing they made was Pochettino for me. I think of all the players and everything, he is almost going to be the glue that really has to make it all tick together. And for me, having seen what he did at Spurs, it was almost similar situation where you've got a young squad, you've got to build it, except now you've got the funds and the backing to do it all. He's got free reign basically, and he doesn't have the egos that he had at PSG. So now it's like you get to actually control the dressing room. And early on, you can see this Chelsea team already looks miles better than last year. So for me, it's only a matter of time, and it can only get better.
Well, I say, but this is I'm not sure about that, and I say that.
What, from 12th place?
No, well,
I mean, come on.
I get that part, but when I say it in terms of if they give both Pochettino and the players the time that they need. Pochettino's going to need time with the young players, and the young players are going to need the time. I think it can work. But Chelsea don't have a history of that. And this is where you have to question, well, is Pochettino going to be there when these players are supposed to be hitting their peak and actually, banging at the top level? I don't know.
Let's jump back into the super chats. Nick says, nothing like quality competition. I can't believe the YouTube massives have almost made major networks absolute. Guile and Graf, steady killing it, big up. There was a massive score in the championship earlier. Southampton, of course, they were unbeaten so far in their championship run so far, were battered away at Sunderland. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5-0. Massive score in the championship, that one. That's really surprised everyone, to be honest. Another super chat coming in from JC Florida. Question for the boys. Does college American football have better stadium atmosphere than the Premier League? These guys getting 80,000 to turn up at a college football
madness.
game. Like,
yeah, it's madness.
It's crazy.
It's like in America. Someone was explaining this to me before. Their loyalties lie with the college. The college team is the team that they go and play. Like the other teams, like the NFL teams, are franchises, but their loyalties and their support goes towards their hometown, and they're very, very loyal. Like I've got a Texas A&E jersey that a friend of mine who comes from there, and he's dead set. Like if he goes to watch football, he's not going to watch the Raiders or anything like that. He's not going to watch that. He's going to watch the college stuff, and they've got like 100,000 seat stadiums full up every week.
It's kind of like where you cut your teeth, isn't it? Yeah. So I guess I understand why it gives you the initial platform to kind of have your career, but listen, it's I don't really think you can compare. To be fair, Premier League. No.
I've never seen the atmosphere in a stadium. I'd like if someone wants to.
Roll Tide, Alabama.
I'm sure it's a very different experience, isn't it? America, they make things very different.
Everything's a show.
Yeah. There's adverts, there's sponsors all over the place. Nick is right, says Abdel Santana. Once you go to a college, that's your team for life, says Nitish. He also says, but college football is so much better than the NFL, closest to the football atmosphere here. Kishan saying fossil football back at Spurs already. We've seen the opening 12 to 13 minutes. It's pretty much been all Burnley so far for Van.
I mean, early doors. I'm not panicking, to be fair.
No, there's plenty of time left in this one.
Oh, of course there is, but it's not the start that Tottenham are after, especially
away from home
so early on.
It's never going to be easy, and as we said, Burnley are going to come into this looking for their first win, so they're going to be playing with something on the line. I said this is, for me, a perfect test after getting knocked out of the cup, rotating the squad. Okay, cool. Now bring the first team back in and let's see your reaction. So I've said this is going to be a test of the team's character, and it ain't going to be all smooth sailing this season. I think people think because of the first 3 games we saw a couple of nice debuts, a bit of pretty football, that, oh, yeah, we're back. Life is good. Nah, bro. We said it's a process. It's Solomon, and just blocked on the edge. But listen, there's going to be so many hiccups throughout the season. It's do you trust the manager enough throughout these kind of tough moments? That's what it'll be. How does he react? How does the team react? So it'll just be another one of them.
Young Crew says, hold that fraud, Kadani.
Well done.
Our knee is underrated, saying Zixi. Well, if he keeps scoring, he won't be. Burnley have made some good signing and will be rejuvenated, says Vincent.
Duncan says plenty of time for Spurs to concede more. True. That is also true.
Chelsea Vet 79 says rugby is for helmets. Tend to agree with that one, to be fair. Oh no, he's saying American football is rugby but with helmets. I say helmets.
That is a very different statement you made there, Al.
We do not co-sign that statement.
But I say helmets. It's like a Scouse thing. It means you're a bit of a tit or something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
I'd call them helmets as well.
It's not a tit, mate.
There's another reason, but we won't go into the other definition as well. Perfect test against Burnley, you know. Burnley, says Olu.
I don't know about Burnley Turf Moor away days, bruv.
Do you know what? I tipped Burnley to be like a surprise package of the season. I think they've been a bit hard done by because they had that game at Luton cancelled.
Yeah.
And I think that was like, you know, when you come back up into the Premier League, you got to get them points on the board early, and get them. And I think they would have
opening game as well.
Yeah, City opening games, tough one.
I was going to ask about Burnley because, again, for many people, they were maybe that team that you thought might overachieve this season, might do bits. Really, really difficult start. And there has been
1-1.
A goal at Turf Moor. Who has it gone to? Which team has it gone to? Nicky has just spudded Fuad, which might give you a little clue, which is strange, really, considering he's a West Ham fan. But there you go. There's been an equaliser, Fuad, at Turf Moor, 16 minutes in. We've got a game on our hands, people.
Mm-hmm. I told them. There's plenty of time.
I spudded
No
him.
celebration?
Plenty of time.
Not for
But
rivalry reasons, but because what he was just saying, there's plenty of time left.
plenty of
Just
time
chill.
left. And what did
And
I say?
everyone's trying to cook him, you know?
What else did I say before the
You
game?
said that Heung-min 9 would
Needs to
score the
go
goal,
in the middle.
and he has.
What do we see?
He has.
Ladies and gentlemen.
60 minutes in, there's been a goal at Turf Moor, and it's been scored by Tottenham's captain, Heung-min Son. Let's have a look at the goal here.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's a
what
good,
goal.
lovely finish.
Good finish.
Chips it over the oncoming Trafford.
Hey, armband, Sonny. I'm liking it this year. I'm liking it.
It's a great finish, and it's 1-1. Another really important goal in the Championship. Leicester, the key team in the Championship this season, they still are undefeated, but they've just gone behind thanks to a goal from Liam Delap. Remember Rory Delap? That's his son. Do you feel old? You must do, because I do. And he has scored the
Still have
opening
nightmares
goal.
about Rory's throw-ins. Man.
I know, mate. I'm still seeing, ball boys throw a towel over to him, and he wipes the ball for 30
They used to
seconds.
put. Do you remember when he was playing? They used to. Loads of teams like adopted this. They used to put advertising boards really close
tight,
to
so
the.
they couldn't get around.
Yeah, they was like out of place.
They still used to ping it in. It
used to knock them down.
It was as good as getting a corner.
Well, I
sometimes.
remember there was one keeper, I can't remember who it was, where he was about to kick the ball out for a throw-in, realised he was playing Stoke,
And then
kicked out for
kicks it a corner. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Prefer to do it
I think that
corner.
might have been Villa.
It could have been.
I think it might have been.
It was brilliant.
The American keeper. He used to play for.
Typical
might be right.
Tony Pulis, that kind of tactics there. But yeah, Liam Delap scores for Hull away at Leicester. But yeah, just going over that finish again. I mean, we were talking about Burnley before, how tough their start was. City at home, a game cancelled. So it's been difficult for them. But if they can come away from this one unscathed, you'd look at maybe building on top of that. But if Tottenham don't win this one, what's the mood like going into that international break?
A little bit disappointing.
Considering you're
to
out
be
of the
fair.
cup as well.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing because obviously we started the first 3 games so brightly, and then going out of the cup and then losing today, I think would be the most important thing not to happen. I think if we leave here with a point, it would be disappointing still, but ideally I want to come here with a kind of reaction from the from the Carabao Cup exit. I want to see Ange tweak things a little bit. And as I said, get a reaction, man. We conceded early, plenty of time to equalise. Quality goal there from Son, leading the team by example now from the front. That's all I want to see.
Big props to the Burnley groundsman, by the way. That looks lush.
Yeah.
That looks like a carpet.
Do you know what, though? One thing sometimes I realise about pictures, they look lush from far, and then you get up close and you're like, fuck me, what's going on here?
Better than the
But then Premier League ones usually is tip-top views.
I know people are tired of hearing it, but the Anfield pitch that I played on in May, not a spot on it, mate. Unbelievable carpet. They actually have a hybrid grass there, so it's like 75% grass and then 20. So it's quite like squidgy when you're running on it.
Hey,
Like bouncy.
Basuma, I do not... listen, I'm all for the risky stuff, but let's be sensible in sensible places. There is no
Burnley
need
still
for that.
looking good.
Can I ask,
There's no need for that.
with Ange, was he questioned like maybe in a press conference or interview about the number of changes that he made.
Oh yeah.
What was his reason for 9 changes at this stage of the season? For me, was way too much.
I could understand it, and I did think it was a bit mad as well. I could understand both sides because at the same time, when you have played 3 games in a row, pretty much the same 11, you've got another game on the weekend. You're thinking, do you know what? Let this be an early opportunity. You know, Fulham are going to rotate their squad as well. You know, the B team should be good enough to compete with that team.
And it did compete. You got a draw.
Listen, they should be able to win either way. You look at some of those players and you're thinking, this is an opportunity for you, Lo Celso. Step up. Richarlison, this is an opportunity.
But I'd argue, obviously, maybe he's not aware. But when Spurs fans saw the lineup, you thought we might lose this.
We checked out already.
Yeah.
I said as soon as the lineups came, I tweeted. I said, "Hey man, we could be going out." But the thing is, as a manager, you have to come in and give the players a clean slate, if you like, and give them the opportunity. And also, I'm thinking there's 3 days left of the window. He's thinking this is a prime opportunity for last chance saloon, or get yourself on the shop window. Now that is where I'm a little bit like, at the cost of maybe your only chance of a trophy, it's a bad move. Yeah. And now the rest of the season, every decision you make, we're going to judge it that extra bit more.
Strike from outside of the box from Burnley.
Me, it's a double-edged sword type of thing, because if it goes well, it's like, oh, well done for rotating the squad, and some of them players, you might have been able to put them on the shop window. But because it's gone wrong now it's like,
because it's a tough one.
Dare you use your squad?
You're not playing European football. So you know that, we need to give these players some games.
Yeah.
But equally, you're not playing European football, so you don't need to rotate the main guys because their schedule's less.
Just saw it as an opportunity to have a look at people in a
that's what I said
against the Premier League opposition.
Yeah.
Like, it probably wasn't even thinking. You know, you've got to give these guys chances to have a look at what they've got.
Like Fulham made 5 changes. 9 is that's LT.
9 is excessive for me, honestly. I would have accepted 4 or 5. And some of those 4 or 5, especially that you trust, maybe. The Davinson Sanchez was not necessary.
I know you lost the game, but was there anyone in that squad that may have played his way into his faults? And did any of them take the opportunity?
Not for me
Richarlison
personally.
Scored, but I guess he was already in the faults.
But he's been dropped today.
He's been dropped today. So for me, it really didn't count for anything. But even performance-wise, no. I don't think there was anyone who really threw their hat in the name to say, I'm competing for a starting spot. I think Solomon at moments looks bright when he has come on as well. So he's one. Oh, lovely. Corner conceded there for no reason from Burnley. But can we take advantage from this? We've got Maddison this season. This is where small differences make. With 1 or 2 kind of key profiles, we haven't been a set-piece threat for 3 or 4 years since Eriksen left. So let's hope we can get something from this.
AGT, why are you not announcing Super Notts County are winning, says Ezio. Well, I will now. They are 1-0 up. Very good for them. I actually missed
up
who
the
scored
daggers
it,
as well.
Up the daggers, Dagenham and Redbridge. Wonder how the game's going down at Bournemouth. Sorry, Bournemouth, Boreham Wood and Barnet as well. They don't actually show us those scores, which is a shame. But Tottenham looking to go 2-1 up now. It's a very end-to-end game, really, actually, at Turf Moor. But
it's entertaining.
It's a good game to watch. Still no goal for Man City.
I think that's how most Spurs games are going to be this year. This kind of end-to-end. The way that you play, you're attacking, and therefore you're going to offer up the space and chances the other way.
I think in the first 3 games you've seen that, where we will play a high line, press very high up, but then in the channels when Porro and Udogie go up, they're leaving gaps there. So I think that's where I've said, Ange, tactically, I want to see how he handles, because there's going to come teams with much better wingers who are going to take advantage of that. I don't want to see Doku in that much space. Believe me.
Interesting. Big up AGT, says John Murphy. Super chat from ASAP Charles. Talk about Gordon and Gibbs White starting this 40 million trend. Doku 50s as well, but people are focusing on Palmer.
But I guess
at the time when Morgan Gibbs White was announced, there were a few eyebrows raised about the price. But I guess maybe he's got a point. That's kind of normalised the Brennan Johnson's also going for 40 million. The Cole Palmers. Do you think that was maybe the catalyst, move?
Well, the Morgan Gibbs White one. Well, the thing is that one was 25 mil plus a lot of add-ons, and they stayed up. So you're happy to pay extra 15 mil on top of that because you stayed in the Premier League. That's nothing at that point. Cole Palmer is different to Morgan Gibbs White and even Brennan Johnson in that Brennan Johnson's had seasons in the Championship. He's had 1 full season in the Premier League. I think the price is still too high, but he's had 1 full season in the Premier League. Cole Palmer has done nothing but come off the bench. Yes, he's played under Pep Guardiola at Man City, but 47 million for Cole Palmer. That's That's English tax. It's Todd Bowley tax. They know Chelsea's going to pay it. Man City, they sell well. They've got the pet factor. I think that's an absurd price, personally, and I hope that isn't something that continues. The Morgan Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson for me is not the same as Cole Palmer.
Yeah, I find it odd. You've got players of that age and with no experience going for that much money. It's beyond me. People paying for potential. And it's not a gamble that's always worth. It doesn't always come off. In fact, a lot of the times it doesn't come off. Look at Hudson-Odoi.
Woof, he's got
$5 million.
$5 million to Forest.
$5 million. They got offered £50 million for him 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And they never. But that just shows you what the potential, how far it can drop.
The problem is you can't just buy potential. I feel like you have to nurture it. You have to develop it. And I think sometimes if it's not done correctly, that's where you get kind of the bus, if you like. Like Callum Hudson-Odoi, when he came through, was meant to be the best academy prospect coming out of Chelsea since Terry. And the way he's been developed, I'm sorry, has been awful.
They've not got a good record of that.
No.
Developing talent. They ain't got patience.
That's why it's going to be so interesting with how many young players they've got
That's
now.
why I said that Caicedo should have stayed at Brighton. I think that would have been his best.
But now it's almost like that's their brand.
Now,
Now
they got
now they
completely other
almost
direction.
have no choice but to develop some of these kids. So it's like when you're seeing kind of all these Cole Palmers and Leslie get signed, you're hoping at some point they can play regular games. Like Malo Gusto was one I thought top talent. I hope Reece James, he doesn't just become like some understudy, but Reece James injured now. He's slotting in.
Yep.
He's taking advantage. So it's like they will get their moments.
They're still tight. Look at some of the talent that they've let go in the past. Chelsea.
Yeah.
Lukaku went. Although he's not the greatest now, he did become a very good striker. Salah, Declan Rice, they all come through their academy. Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? When you actually reputation is everything. Man United paid 55, rising to 60 million for Mason Mount, and that was derided across social media, even within the Man United fan base, at least half, if not more. Yet Brennan Johnson goes for 50, and it's kind of like, or Cole Palmer goes for 40, and it's kind of like, oh well, he was under Pep Guardiola. Mason Mount has 10 times the career so far than both of them. He's had one terrible season, and that becomes a bad signing. It's also even the Kai Havertz one. He's had he hasn't had as good a career as Mason Mount at Chelsea, but he's done more than Cole Palmer and he's done more than Brennan Johnson. Yet it's like, well, that could work out. I think every signing is a risk, but when you're paying that amount for 1 year experience at the top division, I just think, I don't know. I think it got more chance of not working than working. That's the way I look at it.
I think the question with the Mason Mount fee was because he was in the last year of his contract. And therefore it's a case of why are you premium dollar like these other players who are potentially high or maybe at their highest stock now, they're being paid 50 million for, but you're paying it for a guy who's in the worst form of his life and also in the last year of his deal. That's why there was such an uproar about the fee. Now I thought the fee ain't too bad. It is, as you said, the English tax. Yeah, it's kind of the going rate, to be fair. But I think obviously, as you said, because his performances haven't really been up to the standard.
I mean,
be that extra bit of
in the last season, but he was like two-time Chelsea Player of the Year, Champions League winner. You're like, Chelsea's never going to sell him for 30 million.
Yeah.
So if you want him, you're going to have to pay the 50. But yeah, the Brennan Johnson one, Cole Palmer, I don't know. I think they're talented players.
A goal for Accrington Stanley, our Notts County fan in the comments. Exactly. We'll be disappointed to see that. They've conceded at home. Josh Andrews with the goal. Grimsby 2, Gillingham 0, I should say. Gavin Holohan with the goal. Super chat here from Rido Boy 94 saying Brennan Johnson scored 8 goals last season. I don't get the hate he's getting. This is a good signing for Tottenham.
I think it's a good signing. I don't think it's a 50 million signing. That's the only point I'm making.
The gamble on potential again. You look at the kid that went to Ajax from he was linked with us.
Oh no, sorry.
From City.
Celso Borges.
Yeah. Like they had him on they let him go for 18 million or something like that, and it's but a lot of they could buy him back and they get a sell on and all that. I think some of these price tags could end up affecting these kids. The price tag, bigger players and kids like that, have gone for a lot less money and succumb to the pressure that you know of the price tag. So it's not always a good thing for these kids, man.
Dom AMP_8 says AGT goated, and then he goes down to say Fuad is a goat. So how many can there be? What is this, a farm? Big up my brother. Fuad says Yaha. AGT, who starts at centre-back for you tomorrow, says Chris. We will preview that game a little bit later on in the second half of the show, so make sure you stick around for that. But right now, we're currently seeing it's goalless at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Also half an hour in now at the Etihad. Still 0-0 between Man City and Fulham. Fulham will hopefully build on this goalless half an hour so far. And of course, we know that it's 1-1 between Burnley and Tottenham, and Brentford are 1-0 up at home to Bournemouth. It was a great goal, actually, Brentford's goal. Jensen, we saw it. It was almost one of those free kicks where the wall line up. It was a very acute angle, but the wall line up to almost block the shot. But the keeper maybe misplaces the wall a bit, and Jensen sees that and whips it in space, at the near post, and the keeper goes to make the save, but it is just over the line. And it's a clever free kick from Jensen. 1-0. Yep. Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Let's go to the Etihad, as there has been a goal, and I believe it is Man City who have scored it, and it's Julian Alvarez with the goal. We were talking about it, weren't we? Half an hour in, they haven't scored so far, but as the good teams always do, they score. Fuad, 1-0 to City.
First of the party. That's my prediction. Half an hour just gone now as well. Imagine there could be 1 or 2 more coming in that game.
Talk us through the goal.
Haaland here receiving it on the left foot, squaring it into the middle to Julian Alvarez, and easy.
And there's been another goal at the G-Tech. Who has it gone to? Nicky Hawkins.
Bournemouth, Solanke. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe we can get it up. But
first goal.
Do you know what? I like
for
him, man. I like Solanke. We played them first game of the season. He gave us a bit of trouble, Solanke, and I thought he's a good player.
I think
didn't he score against us?
The way he's improved since going down to the Championship, I think he's come back a different player, honestly. I remember when you guys had let him go, it almost seemed like potential-wise he might not fulfill what he was at the Under-17 World Cup, but at Bournemouth he's just found his feet, man, and he's, as I said, that 10 to 12 goal a season striker, he fits that bill perfectly.
No, I mean, if we'd have had a bit more in our midfield and we didn't, he would have been a player I would have definitely paid good money for.
Definitely.
I think there's a VAR check here at Man City.
I think that will stay.
No, that's onside.
That's onside. I think that goal will stand.
His hand is actually ahead of Haaland.
But yeah, Dominic Solanke, just confirmation. Half an hour in, Bournemouth equalise away at Brentford. I think I had Brentford to win that one 2-1.
And just in the Championship as well.
Still on.
Cardiff are 1-0 up against
And who's
Ipswich.
the goal scorer?
Aaron Ramsey. Hometown Cardiff boy.
Did you see his goal at Leicester the other day for Cardiff? What a screamer that was, by the way.
This is
He's gone home.
Cardiff.
He's gone home.
He's gone home.
Because isn't there another Aaron Ramsey, Jacob Ramsey's brother?
Yes.
Where's he now?
At Villa.
Is he still
Sunderland or something? Or was that Joby Bellingham? All these brothers.
I know.
But you're right. This is the OG Aaron Ramsey, though. He scores half an hour into the game for Cardiff away at Ipswich. That's a long old poke, that is. An away day for Cardiff, isn't it?
You know what happens when Aaron Ramsey
side of the country. Yeah. Someone
say a prayer.
Famous.
I wouldn't like to go to Ipswich, and I live quite close to Ipswich. You know what I mean? I wouldn't like to go there anyway.
No, God no.
Can I say something on that man?
Goal at the Etihad.
That's a call from Edison.
Tim Ream has scored an equaliser for Fulham. 32 minutes in, we've got a bloody good game there as well, Nicky. Yeah. Talk us through the goal.
Absolutely. It's just a bit of confusion from a corner, and who was it? Reams at the back post to poke it past. No one picking him up.
I think it squeezes through Edison, actually.
Yeah, I think it squeezes through his hands.
We'll have another look at it now. But Tim Ream is the goal scorer of the easiest goal he'll ever score in his career. I mean, not a packed out away end, but the Fulham fans certainly.
For a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff, that is pathetic.
Talk to us about the goal.
That's too easy.
He got the volley and
both the first contact, nobody's marking him. Second ball, nobody picks him up.
So it's a strike from Jimenez from the corner. It's deflected. It's deflected.
Aki at the
But
back
Tim
post as well,
Ream
mate.
on the line gets the equalising goal 2 minutes after City scored. Marco Silva celebrates on the touchline. We've got a game on at the Etihad as well as the G-Tech Stadium where it's 1-1, as well as Turf Moor where it is 1-1 between Burnley and Tottenham. We've seen some nice goals going in already on the Saturday Football Show. That's what you're watching for. There's over 3,000 of you watching right now, 3.2k. Make sure we get the likes up. It says on my iPad here we've got 14, 15 likes. It can't be.
No, that's
possible.
wrong.
That needs to update.
Like it.
How many
anyway,
likes have we got? The more you like it, the more it goes up. It's very simple. Thank you very much.
Simple maths. I was going to say on the Man City goal, because it was good from Haaland. A lot of strikers would have shot in that position, and you think someone like him who's all about the goals, but you could see he deliberately went to cut across the goal. You saw his whole body kind of just shift when he shot. Or crossed it to make sure he squared it directly for Alvarez.
Listen,
I think that was
if you
good.
want to be fed, you got to feed your teammates as well, man.
Definitely.
It can't just be a one-way system, I always say.
And I think obviously that's one thing that's.
I think that's instinct.
You've always asked about Haaland from when he joined. What's his link-up play? We know he can score goals. How's he going to interact with his teammates?
Gets an assist today, though.
And I think he's getting better and better at that from the moment he came to this point now. He's getting better and better. So that's a good goal. But of course, Fulham back in it. So.
Points.
Yeah, we take the assist. We need more for that kind of price in fantasy. You need more from him.
Bro,
but we
I
take
triple captained him against Sheffield United last week. I got 12 points in total.
Nice.
That was an absolute failure.
Carl Bates super chat. Watching the Chelsea game, you won't think their midfield is worth over 200 million. You would expect someone who can hold the ball and dribble like Kovacic. Going back to League One, Bolton 0, Derby 1. Conor Hourihane, the ex Aston Villa midfielder, Ireland international, with a penalty after 34 minutes in that one. And it looks like Fulham are not really resting on that 1-1. They want to go and get another one maybe before half time.
Doing really well.
Just a little cagey after the goal since.
Oof. Poor from Rodri there.
Very high press.
Good high press. Tim Ream all over the pitch. Don't know what he's doing. Looks like the Leeds away kit from last season.
He looks like he owns a coffee shop that has hemp cloth.
That's
stalls.
a great shout. And he sells.
I like that.
He sells decaf lattes
Yes, he
with
does.
matcha and
vegan
and
everything.
Yeah.
and almond milk for £7.28.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's
Made an
spot on.
absolute
I love how
fortune from doing
specific that was. Because that's what it is.
And I don't even drink coffee, but I know
it's
that.
crazy.
Even in Liverpool now, the price of coffee is jumping up into the
coffee, they call
£3.
it.
I'm like, is this Shoreditch or what?
Coffee has been proven to be like one of the highest sort of
Markups.
markup margins
Yeah.
in on
world.
the planet.
Yeah.
Because it's hot water in a tea bag.
Bro.
Well,
I mean, it's
man,
anyway.
it's crazy.
That's a whole other stream. We could talk about coffee all day and how it's. I've never actually had one. Leave that.
What, coffee?
Hey.
Never had one in my life.
What?
Cup of coffee?
Never had
What do you drink in
coffee
the
in my
morning?
life.
Jay, give him a cup of coffee.
yeah, I don't.
I'm a water guy, bro.
You'll go nuts.
I've drank coffee before, and I realized at one point I don't like the taste of coffee
You lot-
because I'm putting like 5 teaspoons of sugar. That's why I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking sugar.
You lot ain't
I
tired
said this
enough,
ain't for
man.
me.
It depends what sort. There's so many different types of coffee.
There are.
Depends
Yeah.
what one you want.
Latte,
Hot drinks.
cappuccino.
I drink maybe 2 cups of
Espresso.
tea a week.
Yeah.
But I'm a water guy. I love my water.
Yeah,
so
that's-
I don't drink
that's
coffee.
fair. I'm not a
I
tea
like my
guy.
herbal tea. That's me.
I'm not a
naturally
coffee
just
guy,
ready,
but I do drink coffee and I do appreciate good coffee.
Can tell when he said teabag, said soldier.
Great
Caffeine
character.
going to give
in Prison
AGT
Break,
super
actually.
stats powers. Nah, I'm good, man. I've already got them. What do you mean? Nicky, you think West Ham are playing better without Rice, says Buffalo Soldier?
I think we're playing different, which is more suited to our style.
Okay, fair enough. Troops has tweeted 3 minutes ago, which has now been deleted, but it's all right because I've got it in front of me. He said, Partey out for 3 months. Alvarez put City 1-0 up. Lol, great Saturday, mate. Well, it's got better because Fulham have scored, and we're waiting to hear that final news on Partey as well, by the way. But that's what Twitter at least is saying as well. I'm with AGT. Water and tea is the way, says Vincent. Shout out to you.
You lot are living some holistic life, man. I'm out here, I'm trying to live like a rock star. Where's my coffee? Where's my cigarettes?
You don't even put milk, you don't put no milk in it, nah, do you?
Champions, isn't it? That's what my dad has. Shout out to him. Partey was in training today, says ELCN, but obviously the injury might have happened in training. If there is an injury at all, I feel like this with Arsenal fans, they panic sometimes. might not be the case. But we will see. We will see for sure. Big fight, by the way. We don't have it as a watch-along tonight, but big fight, by the way, the second coming, really, between Smith and Eubank Jr. Looking forward to watching that when I get home tonight. City 1, Fulham 2, says FJ Channel. I don't think that's 100% true right now. True. But yeah, they are playing well and they're making a real good go of this at the Etihad. But again, as we know, City always end up winning these games, don't they? But Philip Foden on the ball, knocks it into Walker and they start again. This 38 minutes gone.
City don't usually start the season. No, I wouldn't say don't usually start it well, but not at their best, which is understandable to start the season. But somehow they're on 9 points out of 9, no one else is.
Yep. That's
and you're just
how
like,
they do things,
you're like, well, how are we going to compete with this? Because they're not playing well, they're getting maximum points. Where we might be playing well at a certain point, and we're still not going to get maximum points because we're just not good enough. Yeah, they're on another level.
Super chat from Farouk. Fuad, bring back STTV. Love to DR Sports as well.
Something in the works, my brother.
Wait on it. Trust me, it's going to be good. Peter Nolan, AGT will definitely need plenty of coffee if Salah goes to Saudi this month. We'll speak about that in the second half as well. But as things stand, he will be playing in Anfield tomorrow afternoon, I should say. Garbo Staunton, super chat. Why would you put sugar in coffee, Neeks? It's meant to be bitter. AGT, maybe if you try coffee, you'd be more alert when fact-checking your stats.
Damn, that's a scolding super chat. I like you, Garbo.
That has scolded me. Shout out to Garbo for the super chat. Thank you. To be fair, my stats have actually been a bit better recently. I think they're talking about maybe last season. This is a new season, a new AGT, a new stat book. So don't worry about that. Do I want a coffee, says production? No, I do not want a coffee. Are you saying my stats aren't right? Production in the back? Get out of it.
You know how you ease yourself into coffee? Summertime, get yourself a coffee caramel frappuccino.
Yeah, frappuccino, man.
And that's how you start easing in, and then it's like,
I just think I'd have a coffee and a whisper.
Mate. Coffee and a
those
whisper.
In the summertime?
I'll have some chocolate bars though. Cheers, Jace.
Yeah, Fuad didn't bring their sweets, man.
Yeah, normally does. By the way, do we have clear confirmation?
I was gonna say, yo, that's crazy. Sweet man, like I got the sweet
child catcher. Wow, there is another word for that, but I don't think I'll say it on the show.
No.
But
Rotherham 2-0
he's not one of them.
Norwich.
Yes, Rotherham 2-0 up at home to Norwich at the New York Stadium. Not that New York, just the New York Stadium.
Right. Shout
out. Did you know that?
That's dead. I can't you got to find the new name, man.
It's been there for ages.
New York
Stadium, yeah.
And it's capitalised both the N and the
Can you
Y
imagine
as well.
if,
That's
like, a Rotherham fan says to his missus, like, listen, got us tickets to New York. I'm taking you away. It's going to be sick. She gets a whole bag, suitcase packed, and they go to Rotherham's ground.
Please do that.
I'm not sure.
Do that as like a honeymoon gift.
But is it not because it's near York? You know York, the place? Like York, like New York. Not New York as in New York.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
I've been to York. I've been to York. I know where it is, yeah.
Is it
Cheers for that.
Like New Wembley, but they just call it...
Is York near Yorkshire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Nottingham near Nottinghamshire? There's your answer.
Is
Come
it?
on, buddy.
I don't know.
A yellow card for Rodri, 41 minutes in.
Londonderry?
I'm assuming he's made 3 fouls and he gets his first yellow card.
He's just
normally
now.
how it goes. Yeah, with Rodri, isn't
Chelsea getting on?
0-0, mate. Still 0-0 at Chelsea. No goals to $1 billion spent, but no goals.
That's how we measure Chelsea from now, Goals to the billion.
Goals to $1 billion spent.
Oh, Jordan Hugill scoring against Norwich, former club.
Yeah. Knowledge there from the big man, Nicky. Love that. Yeah, he did. Let's go to Stamford Bridge. What's happening here? Awani getting stuck in. I like that Forest kit this season. I've got to say it's nicer than last season. I think it's because it's Adidas, and last year it was
Adidas.
Macro. Yeah, it was great knowledge again from Nicky Hawkins. That's why he's on the show. That's why he gets a seat at the big boy.
I'll just guess, and sometimes.
No, that's a great shout though. Honestly, brilliant. Goal in the Championship. Middlesbrough at home to QPR, but it's QPR who have scored. Andre Dosel with the goal in 43 minutes, making life difficult for Borough without Chupo Apcom, who has gone to Ajax. He's their new number 10. So how is life without him? At the stadium, at the Riverside Stadium, which I've been to. 2009, we lost 2-0. Mido and Xabi Alonso own goal. Long time.
I know money makes the world go around, so it's never going to happen. But the Chelsea kit without the sponsor looks so good. And I'm just like, what we all should have. There should be one kit, at least one kit.
Because Forest didn't have it last year, but they've got it now.
No sponsor because it's just clean. All these different.
But weren't they
sponsors.
supposed to get one? So what? I'm
I think they're still looking.
Infinite Player, wasn't it?
I think they're still on the lookout for a
Tom
sponsor.
said on the show they were getting a sponsor called Infinite Player. That was all agreed, but I still don't see it on the shirt.
Takes time to do that, man. It's contracts.
To be fair, I think their kit looks better without the
That's what I'm
sponsor.
saying.
Yeah.
I think
It does look better, but it's not financially viable, is it?
They need a sponsor to keep making the kits. Thoughts on your Europa group? Nicky says, Femi lad. I guess I'll give you my thoughts after as well.
Yes.
Just remind us who you've got again.
Olympiacos,
Great away day.
probably banned from that because they're crowd trouble. Olympiacos.
Oh yeah, they're not allowed away.
Away,
fans,
They
are
ban them from both. They ban their fans from travelling to us, and they ban over.
basically a COVID game.
We've got Freiburg, which we're banned from going to as well. So we're not allowed to go over there. And then we've got some mad team that I can't even pronounce in the no, it's not. Where is it? Where was Vidic from?
Serbia.
Star Belgrade.
Serbia
No.
on the 30th of November.
Gee, it's gonna be freezing
Cold,
cold.
I'm not
wrap
going.
up warm.
It's gonna be
I'm not-
freezing.
So really, you can only go to one of those away days as a fan base.
Yeah,
for now,
may allow-
before they
may-
get banned from there as well.
A team called Backup
Well, let
Topola.
me just put this into context, right? Now, I'm not supporting, the guy that threw the vape at the Fiorentina player. That is the reason why we're banned from the first game, right? I don't support that and condone that at all.
was
That
in
is
the final,
stupid.
wasn't it?
That is stupid
What, do you know what
behaviour.
flavour vape it was?
Watermelon.
Bubblegum. I'm going to guess that. But I don't condone that, right? But let's put this into context, yeah? Look what happened in our game at LK Alkmaar.
Yeah.
They had hundreds of people running through trying to attack. They got an £80,000 fine for that. They're playing in the Conference League. They're playing, I think Hibs have got them, if I'm right, or one of the Scottish teams.
Rangers, I think.
Maybe Rangers.
Rangers in Europa.
You've also got Frankfurt last year that spent the whole European competition running around bashing people up in the street. Never got a ban. One guy throws a vape, yeah, and it's English club bias.
Yeah, definitely.
Always.
I think the pass from like the 2-1 Spurs. I think.
What
it is.
happened?
2-1
Goal
Spurs.
for Tottenham.
What happened?
Goal for Tottenham just
happened?
before half time. We're waiting to see who scored it, but what a time to score. And apparently it's a belter goal as well. We're going to see it for you now. And it's Christian Romero.
I know
With
they
the goal,
mad.
47 minutes
I know they mad.
into the
It's a
game.
set piece. James Maddison corner. Christian Romero. It comes out here. James Maddison gets it again out wide. 1v1 versus the man. Is he going to beat him?
it's
Easy as
quality.
you like. Left foot. Back post. It comes back. Drops to someone. No, it's a
Here
bit
it
of a
is.
scramble.
Oh, that's a
wow! Dogs! That's what we got round here. Christian Romero, World Cup winner. Respect it.
With a hit and hope.
Respect it.
It's a great goal.
Nah, it's a good goal.
Great
Yeah?
goal.
He wrapped his
Second
foot
goal
around
of the
that.
season for him. 2 and 3 for Christian Romero, and that's a great finish. And what a time to score. 45 seconds before the half-time whistle is blown. Great finish from the centre-back. Let's just have another look at this. The ball.
Good work.
Oh, is that offside though?
Don't do me like that.
No, there's a guy there. There's a guy there.
No, you should be all right. But
Good work
Maddison,
from Maddison
really
there.
good to beat his man. Fake shot, crosses it, headed away. Kulusevski muddles. It comes to Romero on the edge of the box, and it's a side-footed goal.
He's wrapped his foot around.
That's
and
two for the
passed
season.
I like
One with the
Maddison,
head,
man.
one with the right.
He's so good
Lefty
with both
coming
feet.
soon, baby.
forward. Watch it. Yeah, it's great.
That's
Oh,
vicious.
wow.
That's vicious.
You could not get more top corner than that, I don't
Hey.
think. Let's have another look.
Yeah, it's a great finish.
Drops
Oh,
beautifully.
side foot. Side foot. How'd you get
beautifully.
that power with the side?
Just go through
Dogs only, Nick. Dogs only. Attribute unlocked.
great
Not
goal.
everybody got that in their locker. Does your centre back?
it. Mine does.
I know Virgil tried that curler the other week. It didn't quite come off though. But keep practicing, son. Keep practicing. Don't worry. Go.
I think
They're,
it
look, they're
stands.
waiting. They're waiting.
I think it stands.
Don't,
think it
don't
will
do
stand.
this. Don't do this.
I think it will
Don't
stand.
do this.
It was hard to see on our screen where. Oh, I think are they gonna overturn it? I think they're gonna overturn it.
I will lose my head.
Nope, it stands.
Does it
Does
stand?
it stand? We're still looking at it. It stands.
2-1 to Tottenham just before half-time. Brilliant result for them so far. And a great finish from Romero as he carefully, hands on face, looks to see if his goal will stand, but it will stand. It is 2-1 to Tottenham. 48.5 minutes gone at Stamford Bridge. Still 0-0 between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. Forest keeping themselves well in the game, as Chelsea haven't really been able to make the most of all the possession so far. Half-time in the Championship between West Brom and Huddersfield. The Baggies from Hawthorns are 1-0 down at home to Huddersfield. Neil Warnock's Huddersfield still going strong. It's 0-0. Sorry, it's now half-time at the GTEC Stadium between Brentford and Bournemouth. 1-1 there as well. And we're also awaiting a half-time whistle to go at the Etihad, where it remains 1-0 between Man City and Fulham. Half-time as well at the King Power. Leicester 0, Hull 1. If that stays the same, Leicester will lose their unbeaten record so far in the season. Cardiff 1-0 up at home. Sorry, away at Ipswich. And Man City have scored just before the half-time whistle goes. And who has it gone to? Nathan Ake is the goal scorer in this one. As we thought then, boys, really. Man City from behind are now 2-1 up. Talk us through the goal, boys.
Well, they went 1-0 up, to be fair. But, I think it's come from a corner, isn't it?
We're just having a look at it now.
Yeah, so it's come from a corner for City. We are looking to see if it might be offside, though, potentially. Yeah. A VAR check will happen there. In League One, Blackpool 1.
That's got to be offside. No, it has to be offside.
Touch.
It's gone under.
Well, the argument is he interfering with the goalkeeper?
It definitely is. It definitely is. He's standing in front of the goal. He's stuck his foot out as well.
Because he's jumped over it and his foot's kind of come out. But I think his foot's come out to let it go through his legs. But that must interfere with it.
I think he tried to touch that.
We'll see from another angle. Nathan Ake just headed
we
right
will see.
down.
Disallowed.
It should be disallowed, we're hearing. It should be disallowed.
Yeah, no, you have to. You can't. Yeah.
He's had an actual impact on the goal.
Yeah, definitely.
And even if not that, you can say keeper's line of sight.
Everything like that.
Yeah,
his movement is going to affect the keeper.
0-0 between Bournemouth and Barnet at half-time in the National League. Hartlepool 1, Wealdstone 1. No, they can't have given it. Surely not.
I think they can't. Well, the way that they've...
I just see Ake like sort of high-fiving people on the way back. Let's have a look.
They can't give that, surely.
I think they've given it.
I think it is interfering.
Did he try and interfere with it after, maybe?
By the way, half-time.
He stuck his leg out. You're right. He did stick his leg out.
After the bounce. It's after it's gone past him.
It's been given.
It's been given.
I can hear it because it's not really in the line of sight. Keeper can see that.
No, but
it's not really.
He's waiting. He's hesitated. But look at him now. He hesitates because
he waits till the ball's gone past him before actually diving.
That's your
fault. Watch it. No,
that should be.
There's no
that
way.
Should be offside.
Yeah, I can't believe
that's offside.
Marco Silva absolutely fuming every week at the minute.
I'm about to say he gets booked every week. He's going to get booked again today.
Look,
I mean,
he hesitates.
Are we going to see an apology come out from PGMOL because of this? Leno cannot believe the goal has been given. You've got to feel for Fulham. 1-0 up away at City. They're now 2-1 down.
That's a disgusting decision.
No offside offence for Akanji. And I can't lie to you, having seen it now, I cannot believe that has been allowed to stand. And I hate to say it, but the referee, including Michael Oliver, has absolutely bottled it there. And Marco Silva's going to have to keep his
They're going to need to make a decision about this because they're apologising for things every week.
I don't think you can put Mark Oliver. I don't think you can. He's on the pitch.
Half-time,
but maybe she can have
more as well.
Maybe she can have a look.
But that's a part of it. They don't send the referee unless they tell him to overturn decisions. Some decisions, for me, you just say, you know what, ref, you go look at it. Let us know what you think. It's your decision in the end. But no, they just
maybe they should scrap the hub. Yeah, and if there's anything like that, maybe you should have like an independent thing. And if there's any big decisions like that, just get the ref over and say, what do you think?
No decision should be made.
No decision to be made outside. He don't know.
Yeah,
he don't know.
You can clearly see Oliver's face is one of bewilderment. He doesn't know what the right or wrong decision is.
They've just told him.
He can't be confident. He's got all the Fulham players around him, which they're going to have to be careful at, as well as Marco Silva. But we've got confirmation of it now being half-time as well at Stamford Bridge and Turf Moor. Tottenham going 2-1 up. Chelsea still no goals for them. 45 minutes in, struggling to even register a shot on goal are Chelsea after $1 billion spent. We have to say it each and every time. That's so offside, it's unreal, says Josh. Hamza, that's so offside. I'm gutted for Fulham there. It's half-time now, finally, at the Etihad. but Fulham will massively feel like they have been let down.
I cannot see how that can be watched over and over again, and they come to that decision.
He didn't interfere with play.
Marco
the ball
Silva
went under him, and he jumped over it. He moved. It didn't. That's poor. That's poor.
But it just, I think that just, it brings the game. You know, I'm not going on about.
Yeah, he stutters his jump until it passes Kanji.
Because you have to, because it could come off of his knee and go the other way. You know, but.
If he just stood still and it went past him,
that is robbery. That is
he wasn't in the line
robbery.
of sight. But the moment you jump and you flick your foot out,
but it's going to be one of them talking points again, and then there's going to be talks of corruption and things like that. It's not good for the game.
They don't need it, but they're not helping themselves making decisions like that. And I have to say,
and what are they going to do tomorrow?
That is disgusting. They'll apologise to Fulham for that.
They'll miss a game.
But that's where, I mean, if the referees always had to explain their decisions, whether it be out loud on the pitch like the NFL refs do,
well, even
or
when
post-game
in the
presser.
Women's World Cup they did it. When they overturned decisions.
Explain your decision, please, because no one else can understand.
Well, the referee hasn't had an opportunity to see it. That has been made by an outside source.
Yeah.
That he's been told.
Send him to the screen.
Just send him to the screen.
And that's a subjective decision. It's not straight offside where a pass has been made, you're behind it. That's a subjective decision. Did he interfere with the player or not?
And that has to be his call.
The referee needs to make
But why aren't
decisions.
VAR saying go to the screen? Why are they shielding him from making that decision where, again, it's protecting his mates? Jorge De La Rosa, Super Chat, says, another sorry are bad incoming from referees.
Yeah.
Absolute disgrace that is, to be honest, having seen it now. And City, I'm not too sure what happened there, but they've got the goal and they're going 2-1. By the way, just under 4,000 of you watching with us right now on the Saturday Football Show. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Here's something you might not like. It's Spurs going out of a trophy. Let's see how X reacted to that on Best of Enemies.
Happened, brethren, right? I told you, I said it on here. You've got 2 chances to win a trophy this season, yeah? The FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. And I said to you, why not go for the Carabao Cup? Why not prioritise that? Man United did that last season. Man United and Newcastle, actually, last season, prioritised that. And they both got to the final. Man United won it. And even now, even when I was at the Carnival on Monday, I was chatting to United fans and going, yo, we won the trophy though. We won a trophy though. You, man, away at Fulham rest enough man as well, yeah? Your chance to win a trophy, as you would say. a trophy. Gone. Right? What happened to Big Ange, man? Ain't he got no sense? Why is he resting all these men? Why not take it serious? It don't make no sense to me.
Nah, do you know why? I'll tell you why.
Why?
We've got bigger fish to fry. That is why. Yeah, Premier League, baby.
Yo, you remember the line? Remember what happened to me?
We got bigger fish to fry.
Line up
We
the
got
fish.
bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean? My little Carabao Cup. You think man care about the Carabao Cup, lad? You think man care about the Carabao
Bro,
Cup?
that's going to come back on the
We
way.
got bigger fish to fry. Ange Ball, rock and roll football, blood. You man know what time it is this season.
What
blood.
bigger
You think
fish
man
is
care? Robbie, let me be honest with you, yeah.
Premier League.
Let me. As the great Soul to Soul once said, blood, yeah. Back to life, back to reality, innit? Fam? That was just all for show, blood. Let me tell you this right now, yeah. That Carabao Cup, yeah, was like the Champions League to any Tottenham fan. I don't care what anyone's saying, blood. You know them way there. We've got no Europe, blood. You know them way there. Between Conte, Stellini, there's no Europe. We may as well have had Theresa May managing us last season, fam. You know them way there. No Europe, fam. That Carabao Cup is like the Champions League to us, blood. And the way that man just threw it away, blood. You see that B team? All full of scrubs, blood. You know them way there. And just like, oh, they play for Tottenham Hotspur. Like, you know what I mean? They're a part of the team, yeah. When am I going to get to see them? You see them in training, fam. What? You doing up Stevie Wonder in training, fam? You see
Wearing his bigger fish to fry t-shirt there, which has come back to bite him somewhat. Super chat came in during the break that we should definitely discuss. This one's from Garbo again. The pathetic thing is something similar will happen in tomorrow's games and it will be disallowed. Pathetic bias towards the best team in the league. It's a good shout. And I think they had to have a look at that again. City fan, that should be off. Deserved after Old Trafford last year, says OZ. Talk to me about that Rodri handball at Everton then. You got away with that one. Hand of Rod.
Well, this is why I don't think it's a corruption thing. And I don't think it's last
It's a lazy
season.
term to say it's corruption.
No, I think it's incompetence.
It is, but at the same time, you can understand the thinking behind using a word like that, even though it might not be the right word to use. But I'm sorry, the smaller teams do feel like the decisions are going against them.
I think everyone gets bad decisions.
Look at Luton last night with the James Ward-Prowse potential handball. It might have been soft, but if it happened to your team, you'd want it given.
Yeah, but would it have been given? I don't know. I can't, because I just think there's bad decisions, and I think sometimes you might get home decisions, but everyone plays 19 games at home. I think you get, and obviously there's when you're the better team, there's going to be more instances of you potentially getting a beneficial decision because you're going to be attacking more so than the weaker team. But I just think across the board, I don't think there's, Chelsea fans were, Anthony Taylor's against us. No, Anthony Taylor makes bad decisions in every game he manages, or referees. And I think if we focus on the referees and their bad decisions rather than this apparent corruption, big teams, I think that takes away from the focus. I think the focus is on the referees and their abilities to manage every single Premier League game. That's the way I look at it personally.
They can't be looking at that though. I think it's the consistency that concerns me as a fan outside of the top six. The consistency and what they actually, how they're viewing it. It needs to be viewed the same way.
Yeah.
And it can't be. It can't unless the same people are sitting in the booth
Each time
for every game. It can't be. So in that instance, you have to pass it over to the ref. This is not working. This is 4 years into it now. It's still not working. Every week we're getting...
You're just passing one subjective decision away from one person to
another. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
you're not giving accountability.
And everybody's
to
got
any
different
individual.
opinions. It's sometimes to one person it looks one way, to another. Like the handball last night. I thought it was handball. There was people saying it's not handball. If West Ham fans can't agree on it, what are these people going to do? It's all a difference of opinion, and the way you see it and the way you view it, and you can't keep on passing the buck from one person to the other to the next, and then stick with one person. If it's a decision comes up like that, they should do it like the cricket rule. Just do a challenge. You get 3 challenges in a game. If you think you've been hard done by, challenge it.
Tennis
get the guy that made the initial decision to go and have a look at it again, because this is not working. That is nothing to do with the referee. That is 3 people sitting in a room that's seeing it a different way to a referee. It's 2 different opinions.
Yeah.
It's not working. It's just ridiculous.
LJ Brown, does anyone on the panel think the refs are taking bets on the side because some of these decisions are crap? Hi Neeks, AGT, is Salah gone yet? No. Thank you for the super chat though, LJ.
They can't turn down 200 million. They can't.
Let's do the referees.
We might as well talk about
for Salah.
What do you mean the referees?
Let's talk about Salah then, because it was a tough day yesterday. Obviously, bets were flying in from the Saudis. First of all, it was 100, then it was 150. They then said
bets were flying in from the referees.
Well, yeah, probably as well. Allegedly, I should say. But Salah, at the minute, is still a Liverpool player. He's going to be playing tomorrow against Aston Villa. The Saudi window, I believe, closes in 19 days or something like that. So there's still time. Do you think, and I'll ask the panel because, if you want my opinion, go over to the COP TV. I've got loads of videos on it. But do you think that the Saudis now, knowing that our window is shut, will actually force them to maybe rest easy, or do they care? Will they just go again now?
I don't care. I don't care.
Why would they?
Yeah, why would they?
They want to do what's best for them at the end of the day. For me, I'm thinking, hypothetical scenario, Alex. They offer the 200 million. Do you take that and then Saka in January? 150 million. Bow, here you go.
If I was
we want to replace like for like, pound for pound.
Bakay.
We want to snatch. Yes.
It's a massive call from Fuad.
I'm just saying.
If I was to
would
pick,
you do that?
If I was to say, if you asked me we'll put it this way, if you said to me who's the most out there replacement ready-made available to Liverpool, I mean, you look around Europe, you could maybe throw a Gnabry in, a Sane, but in terms of Premier League proven, in that position, it's Saka. But
someone
will
like
Saka
Bowen
leave Liverpool?
Listen, that's where I'm like the Klopp pool, the Liverpool pool.
I
the money's there. Like, there should be no reason someone should say no to Liverpool. This is almost going to be the old. I know it's Saka. He's just signed a new deal. He's Arsenal
but I think
boy.
there's that. But also, where are those 2 teams going to be in January? Because if Arsenal are in the title race,
It's true.
and Liverpool are 6th, for argument's sake, Saka's definitely not leaving.
Nah.
If it's the other way round, Arsenal's out of the Champions League group, Liverpool. then maybe he's thinking, you know what? Maybe
A lot
the
can
trajectory.
change in 5 years.
Saka's not leaving. No, Saka's not
But
leaving.
as it stands, I cannot see.
I'm just saying.
No, I know what you're saying.
As it stands, I
still
cannot
wouldn't
see
say it.
Arsenal accepting 150. Personally,
200
for Saka.
You
They'll
take
expect
the
they'll accept
200
it
you
for
bid
Martinelli. They'll accept it for Jesus. They'll accept it for Havertz.
Let's take money out of it, right? Let's take money out of it now. If you had an opportunity, and Mo Salah belonged to your club, 31 years old, coming towards the end of his career, take money out of it, and they said, would you swap Mo Salah for Bukayo Saka now? Would you do it?
No.
Mo Salah for Bukayo Saka?
As in, I've got Mo
Swap,
Salah.
swap.
I've got Mo Salah.
Yeah.
No.
No. Salah leaves your team.
Still Mo.
Oh, if Salah goes.
Salah goes.
Yeah, he gets
and you
Saka.
get Saka.
Yeah. I
For
thought you
no
meant
money.
straight swap.
So 200 million for Salah
Yeah.
is unprecedented. Like
Yeah.
that's like getting rid of your old rubbish. And I'm not saying he's rubbish at all, but I'm just saying he's coming towards the end of his career.
But there's no guarantee you're going to get
There's-
Saka. So
No, there is no guarantee.
All you've done is
but I'm
make a
just
hole in
saying,
your
if
squad.
if there was a situation where you could do that, you would do that because Saka's got more years left than Salah for the same money.
I think you might have to replace him with 2 players if you can't go and get your first choice. But this is all hypothetical,
It is
and it's only if he leaves. And I'm saying my situation,
draw, though,
from where I
eh?
stand, I know, of course it is, bro. But what I'm saying is, still got 2 years left on his deal. Still our best player. Still gets a goal or assist every single game. Still got years, I think, at Liverpool. When you look at the 2
I
years,
think-
he could even sign another contract, knowing his physique, how well he looks after himself.
I think 200 million.
No,
could get
one
a
second,
lot.
Nicky. No, let me ask you.
What would we even, if they came in a
Go
week
on.
and said, here's 200, what are we even gonna? We can't even spend
They
it.
might-
But then there's
but not even
wait
that.
till January.
No, but not even
we
that.
could be well out of it at January.
But not even that. But what does 100? Because 200 million. What does 200 million buy you in the market?
Give a lot.
No, but what? Because early in the window we're talking about Casado and Enzo for 100 million, Brennan Johnson
No,
for
but
50.
you got to balance it up against.
Are you going to get
They could cut. They could
four
cut.
Brennan
If they turned down
Johnsons,
200, right?
Or are you going to get Mbappe?
But they could come
if you
back
can
with
guarantee me
250.
Mbappe, of course.
Salah is a massive player for the Muslim community. Yeah, if they got him, that's a statement. That is a suit. That's bigger than Ronaldo, in my opinion.
What's that got to do with Liverpool?
Well, it's got nothing to do with Liverpool. But to get 250 million pounds for a player that's give you that much service, that in 2 years' time is not going to be the same Mohamed Salah. Let's be honest.
I would
Ever
rather
again.
take 100 mil next summer than 200
I
mil
think
now.
that's crazy.
No,
I
I'm
think
with you on that.
long-term
I'm with you on
investment.
that.
And then
Long-term
even next
investment.
summer, why should we bow down to them then and sell him?
Because I think
sign a new deal.
I think it's a good opportunity to get.
But my point is, he can go there at 37
the
and
old
still
him
be
and
the star man, the big
Yeah, he will, of
Arab
course he will.
star that we all know and love.
Salah
he
is
could
the
be that
best
guy
right
in
winger
5 years.
in the world.
He is. And
best right winger in the
I don't want us to become a
that
selling
won't
club,
be
man.
the case in 2 years when his contract's up.
I mean-
that won't be the case.
It might not be, but it might. The man ain't.
won't be.
The man ain't missed a trick since he's been at
No,
Liverpool.
he hasn't. He hasn't.
He hasn't missed a trick.
But age catches everybody.
Of course it does. But
But
Messi
look
and Ronaldo, I'm not saying he's Messi and Ronaldo, but Messi and Ronaldo was still top 2 players in the world at 34, 35
And he
years
can-
old.
and I'm not
he can
saying
still be a
they are
very,
in that-
very
Not
good
a long
player.
time. level, but-
That's still not a long time to turn
Yeah,
down
but
250 million
maybe
pounds and invest for the next 10.
In who? Because
That's not my problem.
No, but it's Liverpool. It becomes Liverpool's problem.
Yeah, but
and the point is,
then they've got 250
the value in the
million
market for me is Højlund went for 70 million to us. Moani went to PSG yesterday for around a similar price, add-ons plus add-ons. What you're gonna get for let's say 200 million? You say 200 million. Right, we're gonna spend
They could go
70 million there, 70 million there.
250 mil, 300 mil.
Wait, I mean,
it's important
now,
to them.
Now we're moving a bit, but let's say 200 million, which we started off with.
Right, yeah, let's go.
Let's say they get 2 70 million pound players, and then obviously FSG keep their little bit on the side. Who you getting? You're getting ability. You're getting Doku's.
How much Luis Diaz cost?
70.
Luis Diaz was like 40.
40 million.
What?
There's players out there.
If you had 2 Diaz on either
Kudus
side,
cost us 37 million.
But we could sell
but-
Diaz for 150.
But that's
They
what I'm
want him
saying.
as well.
But what I'm saying-
if you had 2 Diaz on either side,
37.5.
that don't equal Salah. Salah's better than 2 Diaz's, and Diaz is a very good player.
But in 5 years, you've
But
got
in
that
5
money
years,
to
Diaz
invest,
might
that's
not even-
nothing. That's nothing. You know, I know you lose it for the now, but the money to invest.
from Napoli, he's one I'd take.
yeah,
my head's
how
almost- my head's
much
done
is Napoli?
with
How
this
much
topic,
is
bro.
Napoli gonna ask for? 150 million.
50.
So
No, they won't. No, of course they won't.
For
We had-
Cavazzoli?
we had Rice money. and we went to Amsterdam.
If Napoli sell their 2-star players, either Osimhen or Kvaratskhelia, they're talking 150 million.
I'd agree. Anyway, this topic is just ruining my head, to be honest. Like, I have to speak about it every day. It seems like there's a cool party going on at the Etihad, by the way. I'm loving that.
Marco Silva,
it's just a hard no. It's a hard no to whatever they come with.
You're a fan.
As a fan,
I'm looking at it from the outside. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it.
I know, but we're going to have massively different opinions.
All right, but let me ask you a question. Forget what you want.
Ask me questions if you want.
No,
I'm basically saying it's a hard no, whatever happens.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm saying, what do you think your owners are going to do?
I think they will fold at 250.
That's what, 250, not 200?
I think no. I think they fold at 250 because there's nothing to say that they can't come in and do that. $250 million. Make
for
it
31 years.
Yeah.
I think they might fold at 200. I think they might fold at 200. If you say 200 guaranteed.
Yeah, I think.
Well, it might be 150 up front.
No,
and it might be 50 million, but it's guaranteed.
I also think that Mo Salah's
this
opinion has to be taken into consideration as well. It's give you a lot, Al. It's give you a
hell
hell of a lot,
bro.
You have to consider
he's still
it.
got more to give us.
But
Still got more to give us.
He turns around and says,
I just don't want to be bullied into this transfer. I don't think we should be.
Scary
But there's been a goal in the second half. Whilst we move on from Mohamed Salah, it looks like there's been a goal anyway at Stamford Bridge, and it looks like it's gone to the away team. Chelsea, and they've spent $1 billion, are now behind, and it's Anthony Elanga, off the bench. Manchester United striker who has been cast away really to Forest, but what a start he's had in his career there. And it's Caicedo who gives the ball away. Elanga makes the run, and it's a great finish from Anthony Elanga. Awful start.
Breakthrough ball as well.
So wait,
Caicedo gave the ball away for that, by the way, I have to say.
And this is what...
And they've spent $1 billion.
Nicky wants Liverpool to spend 100 million on someone like Caicedo to give it to... I'm joking. No.
I didn't say nothing about Caicedo. Caicedo should have
But
stayed.
I'm saying that's what 100 million gets you in the market. Penalties given away.
No, that's what 100 million gets Chelsea in the market. The team that's sitting there with throwing money at anything.
I'm happy for Anthony Elanga as a Man United fan. Because
Chelsea in the mud.
When he...
Look at this from Caicedo, though.
It's not
Actually, no, it's not Caicedo. No, it's not.
Before that, okay. Gallagher in that situation. That's what I'm saying. Look, watch.
Oh, he's a bad touch. Yeah, it's a bad touch. That's Caicedo. That's Caicedo.
And it's not.
I mean, look at the centre back getting nutmegged. Oh my god.
Was that Thiago Silva?
How good was that?
It is.
Lollipop.
Oh,
Come
later.
on, jeez, Elanga.
That's like a little Michael Owen finish from back in the day, that.
Hey, Awani, man. What a player. Colwill, can you slide tackle, please?
Silver in the mud. Colwell coming back, no tackle. He could have got there as well.
Their defence is a shambles, by the way.
It is.
You know what? I'm happy for Elanga.
Steve
Obviously,
Cooper buzzing there.
coming through the Man United Academy. But when he came into our team when we were going through the messes, Ollie got sad, Ragnick came in. And yes, he's not good enough to start for Man United for where we want to be. But he gave everything. He didn't shy away when a lot of players were just giving up.
Coming again.
He didn't shy away. But Man United fans were they're ungrateful, spoiled, etc. Not realizing that, you know what? I can't get onto Elanga because he hasn't got the ability. You are as good as you are, but he is giving everything. There's other players who are far greater ability than him who didn't give what they need to give.
Who would you rather have, Elanga or Jadon Sancho?
No, I'll still take Sancho.
Sancho?
Because I think his ability potentially is much higher. Elanga, for as good as he ever gets, he will never be good enough for Man United as far as I'm concerned. Sancho may not be, but I think he's got the potential to be.
There's a chance.
Yeah. Elanga, I say, wish you well. You came through the academy, you played Premier League football at Man United, and you did your best.
And he could be a solid Premier League player, let's be honest.
Could still be. Could be like a Welbeck.
Yeah.
You know, still has a great career at other clubs. Let's jump into the super chats because I know I've missed some. Arteta doesn't rate American players. He got rid of Ballo, Turner, and Trusty, says Yankee Guna. Garbo says Fuad loves getting his narratives out there. Saka to Paul will never happen. Stranger things have happened, though, my friend.
Listen, mate,
if Arsenal don't do anything.
Alternatives.
He's the one I would take. But anyway, there's been more goals in the Championship. Rotherham are now only 2-1 up at home to Norwich. Stoke have gone behind to a Will Keane penalty on the 51st minute. Preston 1-0 up away at Stoke. And West Brom have got a goal at home to Huddersfield. And it's John Swift with that goal.
Real American name, isn't it?
John Swift.
Call me John Swift.
My name's John. I'm going to go to the John and fire one out.
I like this Jackson for Chelsea, man.
I said it. He's gonna be this year there. If he gets it together with the goals, he's going to be a problem.
But this is it. He's one of the problem players
And everyone that doesn't like the fact that he's not scoring is going to judge him so harshly and be like,
But this is it. I think he's got a bit about him. I think technically, physically.
Okay.
But as a striker, if you ain't scoring, then that's the bill. That is the bottom line for me.
I get it.
So
I
think he can. I think he can. But
It's the same sort of category as who's a strike for Liverpool?
Darwin?
Nunes.
I would say Nunes is more. He looks more.
He's got the
goal
tools.
focus.
He's got the tools,
Yeah.
but he will only be judged on his finishing.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
his goal.
Another super chat from Massum Caicedo, man of the match performance again, worth every penny. As Chelsea are 1-0 down at home. Watford have also now gone 2-1 up at away to Coventry. Mateus Martins with the goal. And Southend have scored at home to Kidderminster, and that's a massive goal for them as they look to raise the funds to get them out of trouble. They've got some
one of my local clubs.
yeah, exactly. They've got some big troubles financially down there at Southend. Right, we might as well talk about the big one tomorrow, one of the all-time Premier League classics, Arsenal versus Manchester United. We're going to do a combined 11. Before we get into it and before you think about it, one each. I want your favourite Arsenal versus Manchester United goal or memory within the Premier League. Let me know. Let's go with Nicky first and foremost.
Say that again. Sorry.
Your before we get into the combined 11, and there's been another goal for Tottenham. We'll come back to this, but there you go, 3-1 now. Tottenham, apparently it was a fantastic goal as well, and happy days for Fuad right now. He's licking his lips, he's smiling. Tottenham are cooking. They're 3-1 up
Maddison.
away at Burnley, and it's Maddison with the goal.
What was my man's name that was calling me fraud Kadani? Hey, come. Step forward, please. I want to hear your messages now, please.
Who is that?
Because I told y'all, take time. We might concede early, but there's plenty of time. Me and Nick both said it.
Jake, can you switch to the
plenty
Tottenham
of time
game?
for Spurs to concede more.
Yeah, we will see that goal and give you the run through of it as soon as we can. But Cardiff are now 2-0 up away at Ipswich. Joe rules with the goal, but let's have a look at James Maddison's goal, which does take Tottenham into a position now where they cannot afford to drop any more momentum in this game. They're 3-1 up and they'll have to keep it this way if they are to come away with anything, and especially the 3 points. Let's see the goal. Burnley were in possession. Trafford knocked it out to the right back, who lost it straight away to Destiny.
High press.
Who gives it to Maddison with
Easiest.
time and space
Tell
on
me it's
the edge
outside
of the
the box.
box.
Oh, great.
And
goal.
it's
It's like
great
you
finish.
can't give him that kind of space. Like that was only going one way.
Great goal. Great finish.
Dios mío.
He's got
This-
snake hips in he.
Football.
He can
Look
go.
at the curl.
He can go both
Great
ways.
goal.
I like it. I really
Technique.
like him.
That's a footballer. Number 10, worthy. It's my franchise player right there, man.
James
Unlike
Maddison.
the previous number 10.
Hey, respect.
Question.
Show some damn respect to the
I
king.
was asking a question. I want to know your opinion.
I don't want questions over my king, please.
Did you see that at midweek? Did you see the video that come out from Bayern Munich? Fucking as Tottenham are going out the cup, he's eating sausages.
Yeah, Bratworth.
Did you see it? The way he's dressed.
He goes,
It tastes nice. I'm not used to dressing like this. I normally just eat fish and chips.
right, let's go back to the scores on the doors. Barnsley have got a goal away at Cheltenham. They're 1-0 up in League One, as Tottenham might make light work of Burnley here as they look to add a fourth. But let's jump back into Arsenal versus
Fulham get in it.
Manchester
I think Tottenham
United.
go top of the league, you know.
Yes, they would. Arsenal Man United, one of the biggest games in Premier League history. Let's all go around the table and give your favourite memory of this Premier League fixture, and then we'll jump into the combined 11. Make sure all 4,000 of you are involved in the comments with this one. We have got one poll for you. Liverpool fans, sell Salah and buy Saka. And that's a great save from Vicario. It's 50-50 so far. But let's go back on to the favourite memories. I'll kick us off. I think it's got to be, is it Will Todd's goal to win the league at Old Trafford for Arsenal? 2002. I'll go with that one. I think Vieira jumped over him in his celebration.
No.
Pretty sure he did.
Was it Vieira? I thought,
Henri, I thought he was.
No, it was
Was it
Woodward
not
and Ljungberg.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it was Ljungberg's shot that
yeah.
Bartes saved.
Right.
And
then
Will
Will
Todd
Todd.
tapped it in. Yeah.
That one. Favourite memories?
Premier League?
Yeah.
Aguero.
No. Arsenal, Man United.
Arsenal.
Come on, Nicky. Wake up, son.
Van Nistelrooy missing a penalty. That always sticks in my
Martin
memory,
Keown
and
as well,
then
yeah.
surrounding him and bullying him and all that. Sorry, man, I'm completely
You know what
lost. I'm
mine
just
would be?
watching this.
the infamous Ryan Giggs shirt off.
That's FA Cup.
FA Cup. Well, that was en route to the treble as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Semi-final, you come up against Arsenal.
I did ask for
down to 10 men.
Down to 10 men, and it was just one of the most iconic goals, iconic celebrations. Premier League, if I'm honest, it might not even be on the pitch. Pizzagate. I love Pizzagate. That was almost like the
Fabregas threw it, right?
Yeah.
That was almost like the peak of Premier League, I felt like. I can remember another moment that defines that. Roy Keane and Vieira in the tunnel.
This was me.
Everyone thinks he's a nice guy. Wait till we get outside.
It was the finger point as well.
Well, this is me because as I said, we've got a few. Like the 8-2 is great for history. And Ronaldo's obviously Champions League, that free kick that he scored at the Emirates. But that 4-2 game, that whole game, and obviously that moment in the tunnel before, that for me, that
was the stand-up, speak-up era, right? Remember?
Yeah. The wristbands and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. And because that was back and forth. Arsenal went 2-1 out. Ronaldo scores. Yeah. We have a man sent off. John O'Shea scores the chip. For me, that 4-2 at Highbury. Yeah, unreal. That was brilliant.
Right, we've got a little clip to play for you. AFTV and UV went up head-to-head to decide their combined 11. This might give us a little bit of inspiration. As you would probably presume, it's a little bit biased, but the question is Bruno or Odegaard. Let's see what they said.
Casemiro, Bruno,
and Partey.
Bruno at 10, Casemiro and Partey for me.
Instead of Odegaard. No, you're mad. But Odegaard creates more than Bruno.
He doesn't create
last season.
Bruno's created the most.
No, he had more assists than Bruno last year, and he scored more goals.
He hasn't created more than Bruno. Bruno's created the most.
He scored more goals.
Since his debut.
He scored big goals. I remember White Hart Lane.
Hey, Kevin De Bruyne said it. I didn't say it.
No, Kev said it. Kev said it.
And he's the best. He's the best, did he? I'm just saying, Bruno. Listen, because Bruno is the most overhated player, no one likes him because he whinges and whines. People act like this guy isn't an elite creator.
I didn't say he's a top player, but he's not better than Martin Odegaard last season.
Well, there you go. Robbie obviously went for his boy Odegaard, and Flex obviously went for his boy Bruno. But let's jump into the combined 11. We'll rattle through this because, as we know, the scores are still going in the Premier League. Around about half an hour to go in all of the games. In goal, who have we got? Let's do this as a joint 11 between all of us.
Personally, I'm going Andre Onana. As much as Ramsdale has done very well over the past 2 years, I feel like Onana for me is a real difference maker in that position.
I'm yet to see it from Onana, but I also think Ramsdale's out of form, so it's a toss of a coin, really. I'm happy to be persuaded by either. But we've all got to agree, basically.
You see, for me, it's one of them where I'm not going to fight it, but I think in 6 months, everyone will say Onana. Because I think Onana's better. Yeah. We just ain't seen him in the Premier League, but we've seen him in the Champions League, and especially in that final. Ramsdale, for me, I don't rate him the highest, but I don't think he's terrible. I'm easy either way, but in 6 months, I think everyone's.
So what are we saying, Onana or Ramsdale?
Onana.
I think it's convincing. Right back,
Beniamino Blanco.
Yeah, I think it has to be
this season though.
No, can we go by this season?
Yeah, you can't really go by this season. Yeah,
I think we have to look at more body of work. Yeah. Last season, obviously taking that.
And honestly, I truly believe Arsenal. The reason why their system hasn't looked as fluid this year is because of Ben. One of the reasons is Ben White missing at right back. I don't think Partey with this inverted role has really worked, trying to force Havertz in the midfield. Now Partey's injured. Ben White is definitely going to slot back in there, but I just feel like Saka hasn't had that double up opportunity, that underlapping run that he's always got, that almost outlet. So for me, I think he's a massive
Ben
part.
White, we're going for him.
Yeah, I think Wan-Bissaka had a good second half of the season. Everyone thought he was done and dusted, and he came back, and you have to give him credit for that. Defensively, I think he's slightly better than Ben White, because Ben White's not a bad defender. Like, he's a defender by trade, but on the ball, going forward, and that kind of way, I think you have to give it to Ben White.
Ben White, a right back, centre backs.
Saliba's a must.
There's been another goal at the Etihad, just to interrupt you. We'll come back to Saliba being a centre-back in that combined 11. But it's now 3-1, and it's Erling Haaland with the goal for Manchester City, which really, that should have been the 2-1 goal, not the 3-1 goal. But there you go, City 3-1 up against Fulham. I said it would be 4-1 that game. So
that game was as good as done.
There it is. That's pretty much as good as done. 58 minutes, Erling Haaland. Let's jump back into the combined 11. So far, we've got Saliba, but who joins him? Is it Varane? Is it Martinez?
You see, for me, it's Varane. For me, I think...
Can we put an injured player in?
Well, for this game, well, that means half our squad's not going to be there because they're all out injured anyway. But
So are Arsenal, though.
I mean, it's up to us. It's up to us to decide. But for me, Varane is, aside from his injury issues, is still a brilliant defender. And I think if across the 38-game season, you might say, all right, we're going to go with Martinez because he's more durable. But for a one-off game or even for 20-odd games of a league season, for me, Varane is still brilliant. And I will go with him. And Saliba's been playing kind of left centre-back or central in their free as they do. So he can either play on either side. I will still go with Varane over Martinez.
Another goal for Tottenham. At Turf Moor, it's turning into a rout. It's 4-1 now to Spurs, and Fuad, after a tricky start to the game, being 1-0 down, he's now
First they call us
up.
crazy, then they understand, Nick.
And it's Heung-min Son again.
Hey.
On a hat-trick now.
First they call us crazy, then they understand. Plenty of time in the game we said. I said 2-1. 4?
You said you
1, 2, 3, 4.
you didn't believe in the boys?
Hey, I know they had this in them. Ange.
I said this though. I said if they get Son playing in central and firing.
Let's have a look at the goal, Fuad. Talk us through it.
So you've got, lovely finish. I think that was Porro who was just on the left end.
Solomon.
Played it in. Or was it Solomon? Solomon has actually played really well today as well. I'm expecting him to start on that left definitely a lot more. Gets his assist today. Son getting 2 goals, getting a few jabs from Salah there. But well deserved, man. This is what I wanted. Someone who's a reliable goal scorer. You know Son is that. Someone who can finish. You know Son is that. Play him closer to goal. We now actually have the pieces in and around him that we can almost play it to in the box.
You've got that creator.
You've got the
Maddison
creator.
behind,
If Solomon, if he can play consistently how he was played today,
assist,
I will love this, man. Please.
Do you know what?
This is all I wanted.
I'm going to say this about Burnley though. This is the first time, so I've got to proper. I think they're very naive. I think they need to find a different way to play because they're not going to be able to go toe to toe.
Aren't they?
Yeah, it worked in the Championship, and I said that they was an exciting team, but they can't go toe to toe with these teams, man. They can't. There's another offside. Oh no, he's onside. The one on the far side kept him on. But you know, when they get these teams and they're in this sort of form, they need to find a way to start battering their way back into it. They're trying to play out, and it's not working.
Clearly not. 4-1 now to Tottenham, and there has been another goal in the Coventry game. It's now 2-2 there. It's also Crew 1, MK Dons 1. Where do we get up to in the combined 11?
Well, I said Varane. But
Varane. We'll go with Saliba and Varane, I'd say.
What about Gabriel?
Lisandro, no?
Gabriel can't even get to the Arsenal team, let alone the Arsenal mate.
Yeah,
Who's the other centre-back they got then?
Partey played there last week.
Because Ben White's been playing there, Kivior's been playing there.
Varane and Saliba. Left back. Timber can't be involved, obviously.
Does that mean Luke Shaw can't be involved? I don't know. What we doing on
All right,
injuries?
let's take out Varane and put Lisandro in.
Okay.
And then we're excluding injuries.
Okay,
So who's
cool.
left back? Give me that.
Then it will have to be
regular
Don.
Whoa, don't joke with that one, man. I would go
It would have to
Zinchenko
be
personally.
Zinchenko if we're
Zinchenko
taking
at left
injuries
back.
out. I would go Luke Shaw.
This is where it gets
personally,
techie in the midfield. I think. Where do you start?
Okay.
Rice, Declan Rice, for sure.
Yeah, I'll say.
Declan Rice.
Is it for sure?
It's for sure.
Over who?
No, but is it
Him and Casemiro, and then maybe Odegaard or Bruno.
Because you can go with both Odegaard and Bruno, or you're saying Declan Rice over one of them because you can go with one holding and the two
Yeah, you
creators.
it
or you
depends
have
what formation.
Declan.
We'll go 4-3-3 and we'll go Rice,
Casemiro,
and... Oh, it's 5-1 to Tottenham.
Jeez.
Oh, 5-1 to Tottenham.
Jeez.
Let me tap into my tapping toes. Let's go! Burnley hype. Welcome to the Premier League, lads.
Heung-min Son again.
Turf
Hat-trick.
Moor hype.
Hat-trick.
Come rock up in your crib and give you 5. What? Yeah, come get that.
Hat-trick.
They don't like it when we win.
Hat-trick
So what
from
do we do?
Heung-min Son.
We gon' win, baby. Hey, hat-trick 9. I'm so happy for this guy, man. So happy for this guy.
Let's have a look. It
Here
was
we go
Solomon
on the
who
left.
does
Solomon,
well on the
wonderful
left.
feet again. Oh, look at this.
just
Look
popping
at his
around. They're
confidence.
popping
Maddison
Maddison
building up
is
from the
pulling
back,
strings.
man. Oh.
Look at him.
It's brilliant.
Pedro
Give it-
Look at
Porro,
him.
what a ball.
great ball.
What a ball.
Oh my days.
And it's a great finish.
At the net post.
All right, that's enough. You can sit back down now.
That's tight.
5-1 to Tottenham.
Clapping all the players.
No, that was
5-1 to Tottenham. Son hat-trick as the captain in
Wow.
dreamland at Turf Moor.
Right.
Not many teams can
He's got
say
to be
that.
one of the signings of the season, Maddison.
Who's Son? Oh.
Madison.
For sure.
Son's
Him and
been there for 20
JWP are up
years,
there. Right, let's jump into some super chats. I feel like we haven't looked at those for a while. But let's just finish off the combined 11 first. So I'm sticking in Odegaard over Bruno.
I can't do that.
Just
I
what he
can't.
did last season. I know you
can't do
can't,
that.
but that's what it's going to be.
Bruno
The
has
three up
just been
front.
different.
Who's up front?
Saka,
Saka for sure.
Rashford.
Rashford.
I think over
and a
Martinelli, in my
centre
opinion.
forward.
Jesus.
I think-
Has to be Jesus.
In my opinion,
Got,
Jesus.
well, he's injured.
I know.
No, I
but
think
we're
he's-
including the
no, he
injured
might be
players,
back.
aren't
I
we?
think
He might be back now.
I think he was on the. He's still injured.
He's back. All right.
Yeah, he was. I think he was on the bench
We'll
last
go
game.
Jesus, Saka and Rashford then, shall we?
You know what? Watching Robbie's combined 11, and I think he did it on earlier today on Saturday Social. This Rashford Martinelli is very disingenuous from Robbie. I have to say it. And he said he's done it on all the channels. There's like AFTV, United or versus United View, and then Saturday Social. He goes on about, Rashford just had 3 good months. No, Rashford was sensational for 3 months. But he didn't score all his 30 goals in 3 months. 30 goals, 11 assists. Before the World Cup, that's why really he went into the World Cup with the form that he did. He scored about 10 goals and he got a few assists. And then after the World Cup, he got 20 more goals and a few more assists. Rashford had 1 bad season the season before last. And a lot of people are judging him and making judgment based on that.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at his career before that, and then last season, it's been a steady increase. 10, 15, 20, 20. Had a bad season, 4 goals, and then 30 last season. Rashford over Martinelli for me is a non-debate. Martinelli was brilliant last season. But Rashford right now is the better player. What happens in the future, I don't know. But right now, for me, I think it's a non-debate.
I agree with you. Neeks,
All
I
right,
agree
that's
with
the
that.
team. Let us know if you agree. Super chat time. Manchester's daddy is Galatasaray. We are coming, says Nekdekt. Obviously a
Can I just
fan.
raise a point quickly, Al? Sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
mate.
go.
Because they're trying the Chelsea thing here. Is Poch in trouble if he loses this game? Is he in trouble?
No. Poch has plenty of time. I think Poch is the manager.
At home
that
to Forest.
They have to. I'm sorry. Last year you did the Potter. You did the changing managers 4 different times. You gave Tuchel time. You cannot do this where every single time a manager comes in, he gets 4 months and in the hot seat, he's out of the door. I'm sorry. At some point, you've got to stick with it. Poch has to be the one you have to stick with. I don't care how bad it gets this year.
I think the board will give him the time that he needs, or at least he'll give him a substantial amount of time. My question, maybe as a writer, that would be the fans. Because the fans are used to when things go bad, we change and we get better. And Poch having his Spurs history, the history of bottle job, etc. How long are the fans going to be patient? That's my question, more than whether he's going to be sacked or not. Because a lot of the fans probably wanted Potter out earlier than they actually got rid of him.
Yeah.
And they stuck, and they didn't. I think the fans could turn quickly because of his Spurs background.
5-1 though, Tottenham are leading. Chelsea, of course, 1-0 down at home to Nottingham Forest. Another super chat here. Will Company get the sack before October?
If he doesn't find a way to change it up and find a plan B, then I think his naivety will cost him his job.
I said this when Burnley came up and everybody was gleaming about Company with the attacking football he's playing. I said Norwich did the exact same thing.
Blackpool.
Breaking records, Blackpool. I've seen the teams dominate Championship and then come up and think they're still going to be able to play that same way.
level.
The gap between the Championship and Premier League gets bigger and bigger every year. And I'm sorry, you have to have a plan B, I've always said.
I thought they still had it in them, but obviously not.
Same. People said, he's lost that Turf Moor DNA. He's gone for a more, aesthetically appealing Pep style football, if you like. Guess what, Company? You were a centre back. You better find that dog within your team. And I'm sorry, if they're going to survive, they're going to need it. Because I think they've got talent in that team.
The thing is, away from home, you can afford these maybe performances or results.
home, though?
But at home, if you're going to stay up, you have to make your home ground
Fuad
fortress.
Kadani's Army super chat says, Fuad, educate them on real men. Company hype. Deitch is the GOAT. Solomon has 2 assists so far in the game. What a player, says Rafi Dwan with the super chat.
Get Richarlison.
Carl Bates super chat says Cole Palmer already looking like Chelsea's best player. Company needs to understand he can't play this way, else he ends up like Norwich City. And then Philip says Son Golden Boot shout as a 9, elite finisher. And that the poll is now finished. Liverpool fans sell Salah and buy Saka. It was 50-50. Couldn't split it. 2,000 votes. Wow. Still 3-1 Man City. Ipswich 2, Cardiff 2 now. Crew have gone 2-1 up at home to MK Dons, and QPR through Jack Colback, remember him? For Newcastle and Sunderland. He has scored the second away to Middlesbrough. And there's been another goal at the Etihad.
It's 4-1.
I predicted it would be 4-1 to Manchester City.
Bang on the money.
It is 4-1 to Manchester City. As Son comes off to a standing ovation at Turf Moor.
Haaland penalty.
All right, you've done that once. You don't need to do it again now. Sit back down.
Haaland penalty.
It was a Haaland penalty for
That's deserved.
fourth goal.
At
At
two
the
goals
Etihad.
and assists for Haaland?
2 goals and assists.
Well, he's going to be challenging for Golden Boot. Whoever said Son Golden Boot.
I'll tell you what,
Richarlison on.
right, if Postecoglou finds out what his team is quick, I'm telling you now, they could finish above Arsenal this season. I'm telling you now.
That's a massive shout from Nicky.
Well,
A Hawkinator.
let me see what Arsenal do on Sunday.
4-1 to
that's
City,
a
though.
test. Because the Arsenal fans a couple of games ago, second game away to Crystal Palace, were saying that was statement wins. You don't make statement wins away to Crystal Palace. They haven't played great, Arsenal. They haven't been brilliant, but they've been getting results.
Yeah.
So this will be a massive test tomorrow.
Around 20
see where
minutes
they
to
are.
go in all the games. Let's look ahead to Liverpool versus Aston Villa tomorrow at Anfield, the 2 o'clock kickoff. Little stat for you, and this is correct, by the way. If anyone wants to look it up, you can. Villa are the 3rd most successful away team at Anfield in Premier League
really?
history
Oh, wow.
after Manchester United and Chelsea. They've got 6 wins away at Anfield. Again, more successful than Arsenal and a lot of other teams as well. But how do we see this one going? Because for me, this is absolutely a difficult game for Liverpool tomorrow at Anfield.
I think it's going to be based on how Villa set up defensively. We know that they've been very attacking, really, with their high line. And I think with your attackers, Nunes is probably going to start.
Yeah, I said it in my match preview this morning. He's got to start that game.
Diaz, I'm not sure who the other one
Salah.
will be. Oh, of course, Salah. I
Obviously.
was thinking he had someone suspended, but that's actually at the back. That's
Yeah.
Van Dijk. So Salah, Nunes, Diaz. In behind, if Villa have that high line, you're going to destroy them. You're going to absolutely destroy them. If they accept
Already
that.
held one massive away defeat this season to Newcastle on the
Yeah.
opening day with the high line, and
Exactly.
look how it was exposed.
So is he going to learn from that and say, you know what, maybe we can't do this away from home against the big teams, but at home we're going to try it? If he goes there, there's a goal at Bournemouth. If he goes there with a high line, you're going to absolutely destroy them. I think you're going to get at least 3 goals. Goal at Bournemouth.
Oof,
Or at Brentford
2-1.
to Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth taking
I
the
didn't
lead
see that
there.
one coming. I didn't see that one coming, to be honest.
Interesting. Bournemouth away.
Last 15
Are
minutes
winning
now.
2-1 away at Brentford. That would be a massive result for Bournemouth if they can keep it up. Charlton are now 2-1 at home, up through Alfie May's penalty. And it's David Brooks. What a story that is, by the way. Massive congratulations to him for scoring after his layoff with cancer. He's now back and scoring in the Premier League away from home as well. Brilliant from him today. Big respect. Let's just jump back into the Liverpool game. The preview I did this morning mentioned the fact that obviously no Van Dijk for Liverpool, still out suspended. No Konate, still out injured. So it looks like it will be Gomez and Matip with Trent and Robertson at the back. Do you think Villa would look at that centre-back partnership and maybe say, let's attack them?
They've certainly got the power to. They've certainly got the firepower to. Yeah, I reckon they might. They're going to be confident, Villa. Confident team.
For me, they have to take confidence from that last result. I think learning from that first week, battering as well. You can't go away every time and take these types of losses. I think Brighton have been kind of hit and miss as well, to be fair. I think both of these teams are going to look at this as a perfect test for themselves to kind of get back on track, if you like. But Villa need to, I feel like, really set a tempo or set a benchmark this season. I feel like people have a lot of high hopes for them. They've done a strong window, if you like, by their standards for sure. So you need to get some consistency going at some point. And I feel like against Brighton, it's really one of those, if they come out with a result at the Amex, people are looking at them, all right, cool. That window, maybe there's something off the back of it to kind of be scared of. But at the moment, we'll see.
Yeah, with Unai Emery as the manager, they're in Europe. How they ended last season. There are big and Villa have a history. So there's expectations that, all right, you've
Kick on.
you've done this. You spent a lot of money. Because they have spent a lot of money, not necessarily just on this summer, but
Jack Grealish.
since they've returned back to the Premier League, they've spent a lot of money.
More than Liverpool.
There's expectations from Villa.
Yeah.
You can't be going away and getting battered. You can't
Score predictions for that one at Anfield tomorrow?
United.
I still think Liverpool win. I think Liverpool win 2-1.
I went 2-1 as well.
I'm gonna go 4-2 Liverpool.
I think didn't I say enough? My prediction.
Yeah, you was
going.
going. You was. I
think
you
there's
had
gonna
some
be
high
goals.
score lines in your predictions. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I think there's gonna be goals.
I got Liverpool 2-0.
I like 4-2. 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that. Okay. Well, let us know what your
That'd be
predictions
your
are.
first clean sheet of the season so far? Or have you had one?
I think it'll be first, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without Van Dijk as well. Don't know what that says. Bit scary. Be quiet,
tells
Nicky,
me
says
everything I need
Richard.
to know.
Speak.
All right, okay. Cheers. Nice one.
What's the context of that?
It just says be
Because
quiet.
I was really being quiet.
Yeah, it's just I just want you to be quiet in general.
Who's coming off for Chelsea?
2-1 Liverpool as Villa got slapped by the Hammers, says Yash.
I need Ollie Watkins.
Sorry, AGT, you lose, says Arm Hammer. Mad Dog Fuad says, this is how we do. Woof.
Modric on.
Mudryk on, listen, time
Caicedo
is ticking
off.
at Chelsea, 78 minutes gone, and all of a sudden it's back to the wall time for Forest.
Maddison
They're
on
going
as
to park
well.
the bus. Mattson's on.
You know he still ain't
Cole
scored.
Palmer's on.
You know Modric still ain't
Mudryk's on.
scored for Chelsea.
Yeah, true.
Like since he joined. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Was he 0034?
Well, he got 2 assists, so they take out the doubles. Yeah.
Okay. BDA.
Lucky.
Every stream I will troll Fuad. You get a pass today, says Tobias Etst.
Hey, Tobias. I'll be here next time as well, don't worry. I'll see you there next week.
We'll see you all next week. Make sure you smash that like button, by the way. 4,000 of you still with us as we approach the last 15 minutes now of the Premier League game week number 4. Chelsea trailing at home to Nottingham Forest. Man City 4-1 up, cruising now at home to Fulham. And as we know, Tottenham cruising away at Turf Moor, which is no easy feat. And then we know now that Bournemouth are 2-1 up away at Brentford as well. David Brooks on the 77th minute in the Championship. Leeds struggling to find any 4 more goals really after they got relegated. They're 0-0 at home with 10 minutes to go to Sheffield Wednesday. Watford have taken a shock lead now away from home after being 2-0 down. They're 3-2 up. Mileta Rajovic has scored the 3rd one on the 79th minute, and it's not looking good for Blackburn. They are 3-0 down away at Plymouth. What a away day that is as well. Some trek there for the Blackburn fans. Jorge de la Rosa says, what does Nicky think of Edson Alvarez so far?
Excellent player.
I did a Copper 90 thing 2 weeks ago, and I said he would be in my top signings. Come the end of the season when we look back. Edson Alvarez, we should have gone in for him. He's exactly what we needed.
He's top.
I thought he was brilliant last night. AGT, it's been nearly 2 minutes since you last mentioned Liverpool, says Lukey Dubia. Thanks for counting though. But you've actually sent in the super chat, which has made me mention them again. So that's actually your problem, not mine. Let's talk about Arsenal versus Manchester United again. Let's get some predictions in for that one. I think I said 2-0 Arsenal. But I'm really just looking forward to this one because whoever loses is in the mud big time. I mean, we work with all the Arsenal and the United content creators. Whoever loses that one has to hold some smoke come Monday.
It's going to be a tough day. I would probably lean towards Arsenal, I think, looking at the form at the moment. They have to kind of take advantage of United in this lullaby moment. Sucker punch them if you like, but I'll go 2-1. I'll go.
I think form goes out the window.
They say that, but I think there's a hangover at United at the moment. What they're probably going to hope is the Amrabat signing and some of the kind of deadline day stuff will kind of give them a little bit of a jump spark, but nothing's guaranteed.
Cardiff were 2-0 up away at Ipswich. Ipswich now winning 3-2 at Portman Road. I wonder if Ed Sheeran's in attendance today. That's a great result if it stays that way.
I think if Partey is fit and Arteta reverts back to what they were doing last year, Ben White at the right back, Gabriel in the middle, Partey, Rice and Odegaard, it's going to be a big struggle for us to get anything from there. We haven't won there since 2017.
4 defeats in 5.
Yeah, with 1-0 draw in between. So last season we came close to getting a draw and we lost it right at the end to Nketiah. If they revert to what they did last year, tough. If he's doing what he's done so far this season, Havertz and Partey right back, so let's say Partey is not even available, then Havertz is still in the middle. I think we've got a chance. of getting something from the game. I'm going to go 2-2 because I'm not going to back against my side, but it shows that I'm not confident because if I was, I'd be going for a win. But Emirates is a tough place to go for us in recent years, and right now, we're not in a great place. Arsenal are not in a brilliant place, especially with the fan base anyway, and their performances aren't great. But I think with the home crowd 100% behind them, it's gonna be tough for us. So I'll go 2-2.
2-2. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal, and we have the results here of a poll that Jason did. Nicky Wisdom, Spurs to finish above Arsenal. No 60%, yes 40%. And then we've just put another poll up for you for tomorrow. Arsenal draw or a Manchester United win. I'm going to go for an Arsenal win myself. Prediction?
I'm gonna lean towards Arsenal. And that's not, as I said, Arsenal haven't been in the greatest of form, but they're getting over the line. They're getting the points. That tough draw at Fulham, that's not ideal for last week, but Man United haven't impressed me at all. I've got to say that they haven't impressed me. They haven't shown anything different than it was last year. So I'm going to lean towards Arsenal, but it wouldn't surprise me that all of that goes out the window and they just go at each other. I just hope for a good game.
I just want a good game as a neutral. This early on in the season, we're not really bothered as neutrals who scores.
0-0, long balls. That's what I want.
Throwback football.
Yeah, I need to rain, messy pitch. I need it. Oh, come on.
All of that. 7 minutes left at the bridge, man, and it's still 1-0 to Forest.
Telling you, man. Telling you.
Great goal from Adebola Oluwo for Barnet away at Boreham Wood. Massive, massive goal that is in the National League. Let's give you the lineups for the Brighton versus Newcastle game. In goal, it's Verbruggen, Veltman, Van Heck, Dunk and Estupinian, who's in my FPL team. Gilmour and Pascal Gross in the double pivot. And then you've got Mitoma, João Pedro, Solly March and Evan Ferguson up front. A very attacking team from Brighton. They're looking to really go at Newcastle, who line up with Pope, Trippier, Shah, Burn at centre-back today. Obviously, we saw against Liverpool last week, Botman came off injured, so Burn slips into centre-back. Matty Targett starts at left-back for Newcastle. Tonali, an out-of-form Bruno Guimaraes in the middle with Joel Linton, and then Gordon, Isaac and Almiron up front for Newcastle, whose bench includes Callum Wilson, Tino Livramento, Lewis Hall, Jacob Murphy, Harvey Barnes. They've got options off the bench.
Ooh, Sterling just in here. Is he going to cut it back?
Oh my God!
No, Jackson. Hang your head in shame, my friend.
I told you, Fuad. He looks good, but you got to put them away. You got to score.
I've done when he gets it together.
I'm just saying.
Wait, let me see. I do not think I've ever seen a worse missing.
No, I have.
I'm sorry.
Timo Werner missed a few.
That's inexcusable. That's inexcusable.
Under the crossbar, boys.
Good work from Sterling.
Sterling's done well.
Cannot miss.
He's gone with the outside of the boot, it looks like.
That's good work from Sterling.
Really good from him.
Cuts it back.
Clips it over Worrell, clatters into Matt.
He goes outside of the boot. Why?
Just put your laces through it,
Just
surely.
spud it in. Stab it.
That's awful.
Ay. That's, you can tell that's confidence.
Oh,
would they have blocked it then?
What a
I don't know.
miss from Nico
It's
Jackson.
not confidence. He scored the last game. That's just poor quality. I'm not saying he's bad, but that's poor quality.
That's a bad miss. 4 yards out, I'm sorry. You have to bury that.
That's one of the worst I've ever seen.
It's terrible.
It's a horrendous miss from Nico Jackson. Will Chelsea get anything out of this game? Or will Forest come away with all 3 points? There's 5 minutes left to go in that one. We've also heard that the records keep on tumbling through for Erling Haaland. He now becomes the quickest player to rack up 40 Premier League goals in 39 games.
Dang.
The figure is 6 fewer than it took Andy Cole and Alan Shearer, who got it in 45 games, which is still unbelievable, by the way.
40, 45.
Yeah, I mean, we're not complaining about that, but he's just a robot and he takes all your records, rips them up.
He won't be there long. He's that type of guy that would just one day just go, fuck, I'm going.
Damn, man. If Andy Cole knew that Haaland was going to do this, he should have taken penalties in his career.
Yeah. Just to give you an update, it's still 2-1 to Bournemouth. 86 minutes gone now at the G-Tech. Can Brentford get anything back?
That would be a huge win if Bournemouth go away.
It really would be. Burnley 1, Tottenham Hotspur 5, Chelsea 0, Forest 1, and City are still winning 4-1. There's around about, with added time, give or take 7 or 8 minutes left to go.
With added time, we're talking 20 minutes,
maybe.
Till tomorrow.
Romeo Lavia pictured in Stamford Bridge, seeing his team 1-0 down at home to Forest. Not looking a happy bunny.
I'll be upset if I play for Chelsea as well.
Wants
to get some game time, man.
Bridge. But right now it's Forest that are doing all the defending. Nuno Tavares has just come on. It looks like he's going to get a yellow card for a pullback on Nico Jackson as Forest look to hang on to this slim lead that they've got now.
Do you know what this result could do for Chelsea? This could suck all of the optimism out of them, because this is no different to what was happening last year.
Yeah. Well, they won the transfer window last year as well, and won it this year.
It's that, you know, they're so that, you know, that they're I thought that went in.
No goal.
But they, you know, there's only so much times you can throw money at things and get the mood back up, and then for a minute, you know, the mood slips. This is too much all at once. This is too much. This is what I said. He should have spent that money over a couple of years, man. Let the players bed in. This is too much all at once. This is a completely different Chelsea side than it was 2 years ago, and it's too much all at once. And I'm telling you, this could be disastrous.
It could be. It could actually blow up. But
super chat here from Action Jackson, who says, "I am not very good." And then Tina says, "This Arsenal game is Liverpool at last season. We look like shit and won 3-1 of United, Bruno and Højlund and Rashford."
Yeah, but that was at Old Trafford, and that's Arsenal's thing. When Arsenal come to Old Trafford, regardless of how good we are at that moment, they struggle to win there. Remember when Rashford burst onto the scene at Old Trafford when we had Varela and Lingard and all these other random players playing. Rashford, we had all these injuries, and we still beat them. So Emirates is just different. It's just
another
different.
goal in the Championship. Coventry have scored again. It's Matt Godden with the goal, 3-3 against Watford. What a game that promises to end as. If it gets even better, it might do. We are in added time now between Brentford and Bournemouth. Brentford looking for an equaliser rapidly if they can get one. Let's preview just quickly Brighton versus Newcastle. Score prediction for that one, boys, tonight. 5:30 kickoff at the Amex.
That's a tough one.
2-2 draw. Desmond.
You know what it means now, Desmond, don't you?
Yeah, I always say it now. Instead of saying it 2-2, I'm cool like that.
We only found out last week what a Desmond means, but
he didn't know what Desmond was.
Because I said it last week, and he went, "Wait, hang on, does that?" Yeah.
Desmond 2-2.
I'm going with. Shit. Do you know what? I'm gonna go with a Newcastle win, only because I think if they lose again today, then that'll be 3 losses.
It's a very different,
and it's a very different outlook, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go, they come back and win, but then that would be 2 home defeats in a row for Brighton.
I'm going to say Brighton win.
Okay.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Brighton win.
Yeah, I'm going 2-1 Brighton as well.
Okay. Interesting. Let us know what your predictions are in the chat. Wigan have scored a very late equaliser away at Blackpool. Josh McGuinness on the 89th minute has scored for them, but we are really, really late now at Stamford Bridge and the other stadiums, but those games are pretty much secure and sorted unless there's any late drama at the G-Tech. But right now, all eyes on Stamford Bridge because Chelsea are trailing Stockport 3, Crawley 3. It's another great game there. And Wraith Rovers in the Scottish Championship have just gone 3-2 up at home to Queen's Park.
Chelsea have had 74% possession.
Cole Palmer,
but 2 shots on target.
Good since coming on Cole.
20 shots, 2 shots on target. That's terrible.
Listen, Modric should be getting to that, man. 99 pace.
Can I bring something up?
Sorry, quickly. 74% possession, and both teams have created the same amount of big chances.
Yeah,
that's
mudded. It's going to, as I said, it's too much at once. It's going to take time. Did anyone hear? Right, and I've never heard him speak before. Isaac
sounds like he's from South London.
Yeah, people saying he sounds like me.
What's that all about?
Yeah. He grew up in northwest London.
He grew up in
Halsden. Yeah.
Did he really?
No, not really. But
he
just sounds like it. So I was like, listen, that's a Somalian from northwest London if I've ever seen one. Trust me. That ain't no Eritrean Swedish role. Eritrean. Yeah, but we claim it as one of our.
Oh, it's a goal. There has been late drama at the G-Tech. Who has scored it? Fuad.
It's Brentford. 2-2 equaliser at home.
Desmond.
It's a Desmond 2-2 in the 92nd minute.
Mbeumo.
Brian Mbeumo. That's his 3rd goal of the season now. 2 penalties previously scored, one against us, one in the opening game of the season as well. I think he might have scored last week as well, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's on fire at the moment.
Brian Mbeumo.
Ivan Toney, who?
Exactly.
He says.
He even takes his penalties like
Ivan
Toney.
If he was Somalian, he'd have the same mix as Maya Jama, but he doesn't.
Yeah, true.
And he's
True.
not.
True.
But anyway, AGT, why does everyone call him Ten Hag? Isn't it 7? Please someone explain. Even on Wikipedia it says this is right. You never walk alone. From Big Chubby Rubberneck. What kind of name is that, you madman?
Hilarious.
Hey, the comment section sometimes, some of the things they come out with, man, I'm
honestly.
like, yo.
Amir Shah says, everyone say free Matisse. No, don't free him. Keep him in there.
Hey,
I want him to
trouble
suffer.
Monday,
I want him
man.
to suffer on Monday again.
He's going to be in trouble, man.
That will be
wish I
2
was in
defeats for
Monday.
Chelsea, man. Ball comes in, and
Eight
again, 8
minutes.
minutes added on there at Stamford Bridge that we've got for you.
Late winner at Southend. How about that?
Oh, great. Brilliant for Southend. Callum Powell, 93rd minute, scores a last-minute winner, probably, against Kidderminster. Crew have now gone 3-1 up at home to MK Dons and Notts County. We had a fan in the chat earlier, Macaulay Langstaff, has scored for County to take them 3 goals up at home to Accrington Stanley, who are there exactly. Barnsley 2-0 up away at Cheltenham. Max Watters with the 92nd minute goal. And we are in the 93rd minute now at Stamford Bridge.
8
Again,
minutes added on, by the way.
it's looking heavy for Chelsea. Looking also very nice now for Tottenham. 93 minutes in, they're cruising 5-1 up. It's full time now
today.
at Ellen Road. Leeds again, no win for them for a while now. It's 0-0 at home to Sheffield United. Leyton Orient in League One have also lost 3-0 at home to Stevenage. It's another one of the teams local to you, isn't it?
That's my
Loads of teams
that's my
around East
hometown.
London and Essex, isn't
Leighton's
there?
my home.
Yeah. 3-0 at home to Stevenage.
They caused us a
Leicester
lot
have
of
lost.
nonsense anyway, so I don't mind with that.
Leicester have lost at home to Hull. Who would have thought that?
First
After
defeat.
Leicester's 100% record so far, the Foxes have been mauled by the Tigers.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
Fair play.
Just off the
You're getting in your dad joke bag now, man. I like
Off
it.
the dome. You can't really buy that. AGT, it's been 4 minutes since you mentioned Liverpool, says Lukey. You've messed it up again. Phil Leotardo, random comment, AGT loves black women. I mean, I do.
Who doesn't?
I do. Been with one for long, but what have you been looking at my woman?
Oh yes, there's a goal. Comeback is on.
Oh, Josh Brownhill scores for Burnley. 5-2 now.
If we just have 20 more minutes of stoppage time.
We so scared.
Oh, calm down.
I've seen worse.
Put away the
though,
nine.
man.
Hey, Lanzini.
Yeah.
Don't give me flashbacks. Hey, don't give me. That is one of the lowest points as a Spurs fan. I remember that day. Oh, I genuinely
What about
hated
Liverpool game
Lanzini for
last
about
year?
3 years.
Liverpool game last year was
Mate,
bad.
don't even remind me of that one. Don't even remind me of that one. I think Liverpool, though, it's almost like every time we played him, I expect some kind of bad luck to happen all the time. Whether it's home
deserve
or
it,
away,
man.
we're just awful against Liverpool all the time.
Desmond is a draw. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
2-2.
But
Because it's Desmond
he put
2-2.
something in brackets that I can't read out. I think he said that because I was chatting about Maya Jama, so big up. Yeah, we've read that one out. Who's got 5 on it, says David Bowles. Tottenham do. 5-2 up. Company's going to lose his job, I bet, says Livingston. Desmond Tutu was a South African bishop. Thank you, Anthony, for giving us the background on that.
History lesson.
Right, let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Still 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. This is going to be an absolutely horrendous result for Chelsea if it finishes this way as we approach 3 minutes to go. It's full time at the G-Tech. Brentford 2, Bournemouth 2. And Buemo rescues a point for the Bees in the last few minutes to grab them a cheeky point at home to Bournemouth. That's probably a fair result in the end, is it not?
Yeah, fair result, but it'd be disappointing for Brentford.
100%.
That's a game that you
Look at this. Look at this. Late drama at the Hawthorns in the 97th minute.
There seems to be goals flying in everywhere.
Huddersfield go 2-1 up and they've probably won it. And it's Antonio at the back post. And it's unbelievable finish for Huddersfield and Neil Warnock.
I want you.
That's
Elanga
actually
there,
Elanga, yeah.
killing some
it.
time.
Good
Oh, he's
work.
wrong.
Done him.
Well, Elanga.
He should have cut it.
Elanga's
Yeah, but when you do that, you gotta score. The highlight reel.
Nah,
I can't get an assist for this.
Mudryk was just mudded there big time by Anthony Elanga. What a game he's had. And this all came from a Caicedo mistake, by the way. Can I just say?
Expensive mistake.
A very expensive one. Full time as well at the Britannia. Stoke 0, Preston 2. Stoke have lost another game at home, but there's confirmation of that Jack Rudoni goal in the 96th minute to give Huddersfield a massive away win at West Brom at the Hawthorns. Bournemouth will be really happy with this result. It's better than a loss for sure. Away at Brentford, very difficult place to go to. We're in the 97th minute now at Turf Moor. Burnley 2, Tottenham Hotspur 5. Still 4-1 over at the Etihad. Man City 4, Fulham 1. 93 minutes gone there. It's now full time at Turf Moor. Massive away win that for Tottenham going into the international break. They'll be absolutely over the moon with that.
Great win.
So all eyes are still now at Stamford Bridge as Nico Jackson tries to set something up for Sterling. Oh, and it's flashed wide. Had to hit that on target. Surely it's now full time at the Riverside as well. QPR come away 2-0 winners, and it's looking like a harder start to this season for Michael Carrick as Fuad claps off Sonny and Big Ange as they come away with a massive win. Speaking of massive wins, Boreham Wood 0, Barnet 1.
Oh, wow.
Massive result for the
North
Bees
London
there, the
derby.
North London derby. We love to see it. Thoughts on the refereeing this season, says Kevin. Early days. We've spoken about the refereeing. Go and rewind. I'll sum it up on behalf of all four of us.
That's
It's
our
been
interest in the
embarrassing.
kill.
It's been disgraceful, and it's been wrong, and it's maybe been cheating as well by them looking after their mates as well. So that's no good. Right, the only two games that are still going on are Man City, who have just scored again. It's 5-1.
Wow,
Damn.
Home to Fulham. Is that a Erling Haaland hat-trick? We're yet to find out the goal scorer.
Yep.
Haaland hat-trick. There you go. What are you doing?
I got 5 on it.
Right, he's doing that.
Only certain teams can score 5 out.
Haaland hat-trick.
Ain't easy. No,
5-1.
What do you say? When they talk about Man City, they got to talk about Spurs in the same breath.
Fulham.
Who's first on match of the day today? Is it us?
take your pick.
Hopefully Chelsea.
It's 22 goals across
hope
today's
so.
games, by the way.
Love to see it, man. It's
22
probably a record
goals.
for the Saturday Football Show, actually.
I love it.
Coventry 3, Watford 3. That game is finally finished at the Ricoh Arena. They'll be happy to see the final whistle there. But yeah, brilliant result for Tottenham. Better result maybe for Man City at home, 5-1. And we're still looking on at Stamford Bridge, are we? It's still 1-0 to
seconds,
Forest.
Blow
There'll be
the
30
whistle,
seconds
ref.
to go.
Blow the whistle. It's past 8 minutes already.
And this will be a horrendous result
It's done.
for Stamford Bridge. It's done! Nottingham Forest, massive away win for them at Stamford Bridge. Anthony Elanga, what a finish. Beautifully assisted to him by Awaniyi. Brilliant all-round for Forest. Steve Cooper absolutely over the moon. And Anthony Elanga looks up to the skies and gives thanks because it's his goal that gives Forest all 3 points at Stamford Bridge. Matisse, I will look forward to seeing you on Monday, my friend. Don't be late.
He's always late.
It's going to be a good
Lateness
one.
is not greatness when it comes to Matisse being late for the weekend roundup show. Absolute ghosts, Chelsea today. Couldn't find a way back. Nothing through the middle. Nico Jackson missing an absolute sitter. And Forest have come away
Comment
with 3
section, I
points.
agree.
What a massive 3 points for them. Matt Turner keeping a clean sheet away at Stamford Bridge. Unbelievable. We now have confirmation of it being full-time at the Etihad as well. Manchester City 5-1 winners. And that rounds off your Premier League 3 o'clock kickoffs. It's been one of the best, actually.
Eventful.
I thought last week was brilliant, but this week might have
Fantastic.
just topped it. Loads of goals flying in all over the Premier League. And don't forget, in half an hour, Brighton play Newcastle. We're looking forward to seeing that game as well. We don't have it for you, but make sure you go and watch that. It's going to be an absolute belter.
You was on something
of
with them
a
predictions,
game.
weren't you? You knew something
Mate,
was in the
I
air
knew
this weekend.
some goals were
Bro,
gonna
his predictions were all like 5-1s, 4-1s, 2-2s, and literally, you're looking at it.
Yesterday, I said 5-1 City and changed it to 4-1 today.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
This is the only
I'll take
Chelsea
that.
Forest games. The only one with 1 goal. Every other game had 4 goals minimum. So
That's it,
Yeah,
man.
literally.
tonight, action packed, boy.
Well, how
Today.
did it feel to be top of the league for 24?
I always love it, man.
Listen, man, we'll take turns. We'll take
better
turns
than-
as
better than the
these
bottom,
early
innit?
days. You know what I'm saying? It's better than the bottom.
Better than the bottom. But listen, what a show it's been. Kevin asked for United versus Arsenal goal predictions. We've already done that. So again, Kevin, you seem like you're a bit late to the party on the Saturday Football Show. What you need to do is tune in at 2:30, or I think you sent in US dollars. So if you're on the East Coast, it's an early start, and if you're on the West Coast, even earlier. Sorry, other way around. But yeah, big up to Kevin for all your support, as everyone else who has sent in super chats today. You've really supported the show. It's been a brilliant show. Thank you for your viewership. Remember, again, actually, I was going to say we'll be back again next week, but we won't.
Oh,
because it's an
international.
break.
England game,
International.
England game.
I'm sure Nicky will be involved in the watch-alongs
No, I'm
for
going
that.
to Italy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to
Where you
Lake
going?
Como next week.
Okay.
Culture from the Hawkinator. Hey?
Taking the missus?
Yeah, of course. It's our anniversary. man.
Lovely. Hey, big up, man. Big up.
Round of applause for Nicky Hawkins' anniversary.
There we go.
We made it past 1 year.
Love that.
Beautiful. Listen, have a great time in Lake Como. I
Definite.
guess I'll see you on Monday.
Yes,
As I always do every single Monday.
Matisse.
Neeks, thank you so much for
See you
coming on.
soon.
It's been beautiful to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Robbie's already sending in chats into this group chat we're in. He says 1 billion spent, and we're going to leave it on that. They have spent 1 billion. I've been AGT. This has been
Add
the
me to the
Saturday
group chat.
Football Show. We'll see you soon. Take care.